What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Elite Encounters and our complete playthrough of Paizo's Bloodlord's Adventure Path for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I'd like to give a special welcome back to the Elite. That's everyone that's out there watching that is liking, following, subscribing to our content. We're also simulcasting right now on YouTube, so if you're on YouTube out there, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. It means everything to us. Also, if you're out there, go check the links to our other content and our links to our Patreon, which has 4 pretty cool tiers that most of them will grant you physical rewards back as a thank you for your financial support. Before we get started, I'd like to welcome back the cast. Thanks everyone for coming. And I'd like to welcome a new cast member right here to my left. L is left. Right over here. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, what's up? My name's Joseph. I've been playing Pathfinder 1st Edition for maybe 3 years with Patrick and Jacob here. I've been following the Bloodlords campaign since it started, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you all for welcoming me.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we're happy to have you.
Excited to see what crazy character you got cooked up.
I got a feeling it's going to be fun.
Yeah, can't wait to show you.
Oh, yeah.
So welcome, and welcome also to our crew back there that's keeping our lights, cameras, action going, because without them, this show wouldn't even be possible. So thanks, crew, for being here. Appreciate you guys as well. So let's talk about what's happening now. Before we get there, though, I got to hand out your skull bones. So these are what we use. Our skull bones are what we use to represent our hero points for this campaign. So I'm going to pass those that way. Everybody gets one to start, as you know. And Joseph, you're familiar with how these work?
Yes.
Okay, great. And then we're going to pass a couple over this way. You may notice that Ophelia is not here. Jenny is not here right now playing Ophelia. I'm going to hop behind the driver's seat of Ophelia for a little bit. Jenny may join us. She may not. We'll just see how the night goes. But for right now, she's here in spirit, and I'm going to drive her and hopefully not get anybody killed. Okay.
Hey, Patrick.
Yes.
Can you rotate that microphone just a hair so it catches your voice a little better?
How's that?
Some mystic words from the tech guy.
Okay, appreciate it. Fine. I guess people have to hear what I have to say.
I mean, if you're going to try and kill us, at least be clear about it.
That's right. That's right. That's better. I think it's coming through better for me.
Yeah, I'm picking
okay.
up.
Good.
I'd actually meant Joe.
All right. Where were we? Oh yeah. Actually. Okay.
Oh,
so
no.
we do have some actuallys to talk about. That's
do.
great. This isn't anything that's necessarily bad. It's just some clarifications and to help set us up going into tonight. So the first thing I want to talk about is hazards, because we ran into our first hazard last week. Well, technically our first triggered hazard last week. You did discover one early on and mashed it to bits before it could do anything.
I think it ran into us last week.
Yeah, last week it ran into you. So the way hazards work is they have to be detected. If they get detected by somebody, those people can then take certain actions to try and disable those hazards. And hazards are anything from like traps or natural hazards, like a fungal patch that may blow spores in your face and kill you, whatever fun things the encounters have cooked up for you. But they do have to be detected first. Now, some hazards, even just kind of being in their vicinity, may warrant a secret check from the GM. Those hazards don't have a minimum proficiency, in their stat block. Here's the trick. If a hazard has a minimum proficiency in the stat block, I don't roll a secret check for you. Ooh. Unless you are telling me that during exploration you are actively searching for traps or hazards or something.
Okay.
So in exploration mode, you may be doing things like you may be defending, right? You may be scouting. You may be searching. And if you are actively searching, and that you can say that by, I'm going to check this area for traps. Then I'll roll a secret check for you. But if you don't say that...
I go over here is not enough. I got you.
I go over here is not going to trigger a secret check from me.
Yep.
So it's going to be, I have to pay my due diligence and make sure that I'm paying attention to those minimum proficiencies and waiting for those keywords. And if I don't hear them, I'm not going to,
You get buried.
You take another, 30-something damage or whatever it was? Awesome.
It was a very mean hazard. That is true.
It was brutal.
Glad I missed that.
Yeah.
Well timed, sir. Well timed.
That's right.
So if you have someone on your team who is going to be actively searching for traps, that might be the person who is, has a really good perception or is the person who wants to be the one disabling the traps. It's up to you.
Okay.
But we'll see what happens when you're in exploration mode, right? I don't know that, going into a bank is going to warrant this discussion. Well, I don't know. Not to give away too much. And now you're going to spend like every 10 I have to search for everything.
Welcome to exploration mode, and then as a chorus, we're searching for traps.
Okay. You never know. But if you do detect it, I mean, granted, you do have to make the roll and beat the stealth of the hazard. And then if you do detect it, you have to take certain actions to disable it. And it's not just necessarily walking up to it with some thieves' tools. There are things like, if it's the fungal patch I mentioned early, you might do a survival or a nature check to, disperse the spores safely.
Sure.
Or find other means of avoiding the hazard. Okay, yep. So don't think of these necessarily as always traps or always fungal patches. They're just anything in the world that's not a creature that could potentially hurt you.
Right.
This also includes things like haunts, haunts, traps, natural hazards, etc., etc. Okay?
Cool. Yeah.
So that's part of them, actually. The next thing is our dear friend Remington. So in that said hazard last week, Remington got completely crushed,
obliterated
by that pile of bones. And I said, well, he's destroyed. And we started talking about your thumbs and how many thumbs do you have, et cetera, et cetera. So rule of thumb, actually, if an undead is destroyed, if an undead reaches 0 hit points, they are destroyed.
Right.
Okay, but in Pathfinder, specific rules outweigh general rules, always. Mm-hmm. That is the Pathfinder rule of thumb, well, aside from have fun. If an undead is destroyed at 0 hit points, it's gone, it's obliterated. However, Remington is an undead companion. And undead companions specifically follow animal companion rules. And animal companions do get to go through the dying conditions, just like, and the associated recovery checks, just like a character does.
Yes, that makes perfect sense considering the undead party members. We don't get destroyed as soon as we go to 0.
Right.
Bert would have been dead on episode 1 if that was the case.
Yeah, Jacob would be on character 6 by now, and I would have been having so much more fun. No, I'm having a blast, and I'm only kidding.
I see what you did there. Now it's going to be my fault when Remington dies and not yours.
Because
I'm going to roll terribly for his
that's right. He will have to make those recovery checks.
Yep.
And it's at his associated stats as your companion. So that being said, Remington is still with us. We're going to just kind of, fast forward a little bit that, you recovered him and healed him and got him out of those bone piles along with Mert and your prisoner who made an escape.
Unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. But let's talk about what happened last week. So you guys were given the location of the Bone Shards hideout from Ortegar Stitch Skull. You were able to find it fairly easily in those catacombs in that area. Ophelia, once you got into this dark area and saw this large vaulted room open up, she was able to see some tents off in the distance. She went to investigate those tents and was immediately attacked by a trio of crawling hands. Those crawling hands had 3 fingers each. So 3 3-fingered hands. I could say that a couple times. After dispatching those, you guys were starting to pick up that you were smelling wood smoke in the area. And you started kind of investigating further and found a larger area. There was a huge chamber piled high with bones. We've talked about what happened in there. But you then noticed another trio of 3-fingered hands. You defeated those handily, and then you were kind of accosted by the remaining members of the Bone Shards gang. You dispatched those guys fairly quickly and then managed to get their leader, I guess, maybe, you never know. You got one of them to surrender. After surrendering, she started telling you what she knows. Number 1, Kepgetta is that leader of the 3-fingered hand. Kepgetta took over the Bone Shards and massacred many of the members. She chopped off most of their hands. Some of them she boiled alive. The ones that she didn't want to bring back as zombies, she boiled alive and called them the leftovers. She also knew, you guys were also told, I should say, that Kepgetta, her main motivation for taking over the Bone Shards and punishing them for using or falsifying the use of shadow magic was really she was after a key, specifically a key to the Great Urge Bank. Kepgetta raised several of those bone shards as zombies, like I said, cooked the remainders as leftovers. After that, you guys, oddly enough, asked to see the leftovers. I don't know, which I obliged. On your way to see the leftovers, however, that bone pile collapsed and smashed several people to death almost. Mert, Remington, and the prisoner were smooshed. And then after you pulled them out, that's when the leftovers decided to attack. You defeated the leftovers. You found some leftover coins, also a wand, a very handy wand that I think is going to come in handy for everyone. And that's where we're going to pick up was everybody's in this cavern or this hideout, exhausted, badly beaten up. What do you do?
I think we should probably retreat back to the Bloodstone Manor and find ourselves some rest for recuperation, and then I think we should probably go tell Haldoli what's going on.
Yeah, I agree. We're pretty battered. I needed some time to recuperate before we go report back. Plus, it probably won't be putting our best foot forward if we all show up bloodied and beaten to give our report. So, but before we head out, I might take that for like just 10 minutes or so to do some patching up before we get on the road, just in case, because I'm looking pretty dire already.
Okay, so you're going to roll up that medicine check. Go ahead and knock that out. Anybody else do anything exploration-y in that 10-minute time? Any refocusing or any of that?
Alar's going to refocus.
Okay. What does that look like, Alara, when you're refocusing?
Oh, that's a good question. She's going to go find a kind of a space, kind of in the corner by herself, and she's going to sit with her legs crossed and her eyes closed, and just a very, she's kind of floating just slightly above the ground as she's just kind of humming very softly. You'd have to be pretty close to hear it.
Sure.
But it's just like a constant hum.
Very cool. Okay, so you're refocusing, and then Lysander is also doing the same?
If we're going to take the time to refocus, I will give Mert 6 hit points with Nudge the Scales, and then refocus to drop my...
Okay.
I'll certainly take that.
If we're gonna spend that time.
I think that'll help him along nicely.
So yeah, I will...
And when Lysander refocuses, how does that look?
He pretty much doesn't really matter where he's at or who's around. You'll see him, he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a very long kind of like finger bone, maybe a humanoid finger bone, and he kind of just sits here and rubs it in his hand.
Oof.
And he kind of gets lost in the moment for the next 10 minutes or so.
Okay, sorry I asked.
Yeah, you will be.
Okay. Lysander always coming in with the creepiness, which is great. That's what we need in this campaign.
Turned it up to 11, baby.
You did. Okay, so after some refocusing, you guys are ready to hit the road and wind your way back through those bone-laden tunnels, back up to the Court of Ghouls that this catacomb was underneath, and find your way back to Bloodstone Manor, which lies about an hour outside of town.
Sure.
Right? Okay, so you get there, and it is getting in the very late or early morning hours, I should say, late night hours. You're maybe a couple hours away from dawn. So yeah, you get back home and get a night's rest in. Nothing really happens. No one comes rapping at your door or interrupting any of your rest. There's no ravens or skeletons or anything.
Love it.
And you wake up the next night ready to set out for Mistress Haldoli's manor.
Cool.
Great.
Okay.
You got 6 hit points back from me just FYI.
Yep, I'll definitely take, probably the last few minutes before I go to bed to kind of rechange dressings and stuff like that, and then probably same when I'm getting up and getting ready for the morning, if that makes sense. So I'll have a couple treat wounds here as we get ready for bed and get up the next day.
Okay, it was that bad, huh?
It was that bad.
It was pretty bad.
I will. I'll use the charge out of my wand, my newfound wand, to drag Remy and whoever else is hurt in wherever Mert is, and do heal Remy there in case I have a medicine healer's kit. So wherever he is healing, I'll heal Remy with the wand.
Okay.
And then if Remy still needs patched up, I'll heal in the same area wherever Mert is, just in case, so we're all together. We have things we want to talk about.
So you just kind of do the 3 action heal where this kind of burst
Yep.
of energy comes out and
Yep.
technically void energy harms the undead creatures in the area.
Agree.
Very cool. Okay, and then that will use the wand for the day.
Yep.
If you should decide to use it again, you can always overcharge it, but at the risk of
Blowing it up.
you don't want to do that.
Yeah, you get 7 back from me.
Yeah, I'm all set. I think I'm finally starting to get the hang of this new skill of patching myself up. You know, I
Sweet.
remember doing this maybe in life a little bit, just the memory, not maybe the context, but doing it to a ghostly form is definitely a new skill I'm trying to piece back together.
Ophelia appreciates the healing as well. She actually had taken a few hits in that the confrontation with those 3-fingered hands. Okay, so as night progresses on, it takes about an hour to get back into town. You arrive at the gates of Mistress Haldoli's manor, her property. The gates don't immediately open, but there is that guard there, and you state your business. Murk comes back after a few minutes. Mistress Haldoli was not expecting you this evening. What may I help you with?
Well, we have some pertinent news to share with Mistress Haldoli. Also, we wanted to inform her on the quest that Persephone left on to go hunt down her maker, and leaving us not necessarily a man down, but we wanted to make sure she was apprised of the situation.
I see. Yes, this may be a most fortuitous coincidence that you have arrived this evening. If you would follow me, please.
Everything I do is fortuitous.
Sure. Escorts you up the steps into the manor proper, and has you sit in that sitting room and wait. There's the very plush couches. There's also some cushions for the more ghostly forms among you to just kind of float over. And Murk, brings out a service of black tea. Please, if you would help yourselves and indulge in your thirst and appetites while you await. Then after several minutes, Mistress Haldoli does arrive, and striding behind her is a figure that you've never seen before. Joseph, why don't you describe this person that's standing behind Haldoli as she taps in on her staff with the pig skull?
All right, well, behind Mistress Haldoli, you see a man. He is 35, long dark hair, black hide armor, and, at his side is a shield. It's red, and it has the fly with the skull in the middle of Urgathoa, and then stowed on his other side is a machete. Black hide armor, red cloak, red shield.
I'm very pleased to see you all here. If you don't mind, I'm going to have my associate here join us for a moment. But please, everybody sit down, and if you would have a seat as well. Thank you. Everyone, I'd like to introduce Zareth. He's an associate of mine that has worked for me for some time, and it just so happens I was made aware of Persephone's quest, her own personal, I suppose, vendetta against her maker. And knowing this, I sought and thought long and hard through the people I knew who would be the best to help my burgeoning bloodlords, my associates. And it didn't take me long to think of Zareth here. But please enjoy the tea and introduce yourselves, and I will be right back. I must attend to something. And she'll tap out with her staff and leave you all to kind of introduce yourselves.
Well, as she said, I am Zareth Duskborn. We have worked together for quite some time, and I'm excited about this opportunity to join you all.
I would like to roll my skull bone, my premonition bones about Zareth here,
Okay.
and whether or not this is a good makeup for us. The simple yes or no.
You're just wanting to know if this is
If
advantageous.
this
for
feels
you.
good, or if this is not so good.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that religion, right?
Runs off of my lore fortune telling.
Oh, even better.
I rolled a 15. My lore fortune telling is a 5. That's a 20. Dirty of the type.
Dirty of the type of 20. Okay.
The type.
Yeah. Yes. You get the sense that it's almost as if the stars have aligned, and at this juncture, losing Persephone and her prowess with her weapons, sizing this person up, you get the sense this may be someone who would at least be able to take a few blows, if not deal them out as well.
Sure. I will lean over to Alara and I'll say, "You see, my goddess provides again."
Are you sure it's just not somebody else wanting the house deed?
I mean, there's nothing stating that he gets part of that house yet.
I will say that I've yet to finish the paperwork of parsing out Persephone's portion, so this also means less paperwork on my end. I'm happy to just scratch out a name, I suppose.
So, you've worked with Mistress Haldoli for how long, you say?
Well, was born and raised in Geb, and I was stationed in Grey Dirge as a shipper, carting goods around Geb and managing food exports, and that included the food raised here in Grey Dirge by Mistress Haldoli's zombie-led farm. So we've worked together and built up a rapport, and she knew me and recommended me for this, and I enthusiastically accepted.
And you hear the tapping of the staff coming in. Yes, he.
I will reach my hand out to shake his hand.
I shake it back.
Do I feel a pulse in his wrist?
You give me a
Medical?
give me a perception. You're feeling for something, so that sounds like more like perception.
21.
Yeah. There is, in fact,
My
a pulse
eyes
there.
underneath my mask widen just a bit. Not like you can necessarily see them, but I have kind of a green, kind of this like green dot on my little thing here, just kind of like vibrantly green eyes with a plague doctor mask on my face. And when I shake his hand and feel a pulse, I'm intrigued.
So the tapping of Berlin's staff. Oh, I'm glad to see that you have at least started to become acquainted. Please, if you would join me in some tea, I'd like to discuss what it is you have discovered so far in your I suppose, assignment of investigating further the three-hand gang, I suppose, this three-hand symbol and these alchemical items. What have you found?
I just kind of like eyeball Mert and just kind of start sipping my tea and eating whatever is there.
Yeah, I think sizing him up, I feel comfortable working with Zareth. I don't see any trepidations, although there may be some things. Maybe I'll talk with Alara later in privacy, but I'm not so sure about having two Urgathoan devouts in our party and how that may lead our party. And maybe how they get along, because I know that you're constantly telling everybody that you're the chosen one. What if he's the chosen one too? What?
That just can't be.
There's no such thing as a chosen two.
There's chosen and chosen light.
Yeah.
Chosen duo.
I have a feeling that's not Lysander's thing.
I don't share well with others.
Yeah.
But anyway, so sipping my tea and kind of gathering the information from what Mert says, I kind of set my cup down. Well, we hunted down the group that we feel is responsible. The what were they called? The
Bone Shards.
The Bone Shards?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was them. We came across some information from the head priest of the temple.
Ortegar Stitch Skull.
That's him.
Oh, my dear friend Ortegar, yes, he gave you some information, you say?
He said that he extracted some information from a follower of his, one of his partitioners, that they were developing some kind of chemical compound.
I see. The Bone Shards gang were doing this? I've heard of this. These are just local ruffians who, well, try to play numbers and run businesses against business owners against each other, and they're basically just glorified errand boys, really.
Yes, mistress. We did see that they were, in fact, disguising themselves to be fetchlings to commit some of these rackets, I suppose you would call them.
Yes, silly.
But we learned some very valuable information. The prisoner that we had, well, we had her, that the cult, that three-fingered hand that we found at the farm, seems to be connected. They came and slaughtered the bone shards almost to a man, and they described their leader as one Kep Ged. I don't know if you are familiar with that name, but apparently they're a changeling.
I have not heard this name, no. Kep Ged, you said?
Yes.
Strange. No, I have not heard this name. I'll have to have my agents look further into it. This is...
There can't be too many changelings in Great Urge, right? I mean...
One would think not. It should be relatively easy to learn more about her. What else did you discover?
She was looking for a key.
I think specifically for a key to the bank, the old bank.
Oh, that's very strange. The bank has been closed for 2 years. Almost all of the riches and wealth were taken out of it by the celebrants and paraded onto Mekatar.
Perhaps almost there's something left there that they specifically need. I can't imagine what for.
Well, certainly it's not money or gems or any other kind of riches that those were all cleared out. I watched the procession myself.
Perhaps it's a more potent version of what they were testing out on your farm.
In the bank? That is strange. It seems that... it seems like the bank would be the next logical place to at least check out. See if there's any more information you can uncover while I work with my agents to learn more about this Kep Ged, you say. Yes, I'll... And it is... as you know, Ortegar is a dear friend of mine. We do like to... well, sometimes we get together and cook. We
enjoy
fancy
the pleasantries
ourselves.
of the food.
Oh, absolutely. We fancy ourselves gourmands, and we it is sometimes a bit of a competition between the two of us of who can create the best dishes, and it's quite the joy. It is interesting that he has contacted you without my knowing, but oh well, I won't hold it against him. I'm sure he would have told me in due time. In the meantime, I would recommend that you investigate the bank, and I would take Zareth here with you as to kind of shore up your defenses. I know Mert is well, he's a strong combatant, but it may help to have an additional person who is able to.
Not made of paper mache.
I've certainly...
We call that ectoplasm, but... sure.
So I've certainly, taken my licks the last several days here for sure. I would definitely use another strong man in the front.
Zareth here, I know I trust him, and I'm certain he will, in due time, earn your trust as well. Zareth?
Well, I'm certainly well aware of the importance of the food exports coming out of Geb, and, if there's a danger of food being poisoned, then, I'm certainly very intrigued and interested in investigating what that could be. Absolutely.
I'll not have any of my quick in my city harmed by this plot. Forgive me, I'm getting a bit worked up, and I do have other business to attend to. So I will bid you all good night. Please finish the tea. I will retire to my offices and report back to me when you have uncovered more information. And as I said, I will work on this Kep Ged angle that you have given me. Very interesting, she says as she taps her way back out of the room.
Sure.
Reacher comes in with another plate, refreshes the teapot, and maybe adds some scones and other pastries, and gives a little, grunt as he strides out and leaves you there in the room. And what do you do from there?
Well, we should probably... News travels very fast between Bloodlords and their contacts, so we should probably go see Ortegar and let him know our report as well.
Yep.
So that he doesn't feel double-crossed or betrayed.
Yep.
As much as I hate to say that we have to return back to the empty threshold.
Agreed.
Okay, so when you make your way over to the empty threshold, you're greeted in that kind of entryway, that foyer, by those twins. Oh, we are most pleased to see you again. What may we do for you here? Are you here for more ablution or pain?
We're just here to give a general recap to your high priest.
Oh, I see. This is much...
Keeping him up to date.
This is very disappointing. Yes, very disappointing, sister. They won't... unfortunately, Ortegar is overseeing a ceremony right now and will not be able to see you. However, we can relay a message if you'd like. And this will, unfortunately, preclude you from having to participate in the ablutions. They won't have to share their pain, sister. Yes, I am saddened by that, but that in itself is existence, yes. True.
Yes. How sad. And I'll rip a page out of my journal that kind of gives a brief synopsis of what we explained to Haldoli, and take some time to de-incorporate it and provide it to them.
They very impatiently await for your page to emerge so that they can hold it.
It's got to dry,
Yeah.
It's like I pull out like a film lab. It's like dark.
So dot matrix sounds.
Too much light in here. Shut the window.
That's right.
We will be certain to take this message to the High Priest. Perhaps he will summon you again to share information and your suffering with us. Until then, I suppose this is good evening.
So long.
I'm already gone. I'm already like halfway down the stoop.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, the doors kind of close slowly behind you and echo with a clang as those iron doors they clang shut and secure themselves behind you. And where do you go, I suppose?
Oh, I think that gets us off the hook for having to report back. I think it at least shows that we made the attempt, and if he wants to communicate at this point, he could reach out to us.
Certainly. And
Right?
he can deal with the twins if they don't provide him the information
That's correct.
faster than Haldoli gets it to him.
Correct. I say do we just beat it to the bank?
I agree. Yeah, I
mean,
think
I don't know that we necessarily have a way in. Are we just planning on?
Never stopped us before.
Okay, great.
Well, Ophelia did say that she took some time to pick up some tools to potentially
That's
bust
true.
that door we
I
didn't
have
have
tools
last time.
Yeah, they're great.
I can try.
And if that doesn't work, and I'll just kind of, unsheath my greatsword a little bit and sheath it again. We'll just try to hack it down if we have to.
And you mentioned a key. Could that open the bank?
They're
So-
looking for a key.
They're looking for a key. We have a key that looks like this.
Awful quick to show to him.
I was saying Laura passes a look at that one.
Yeah,
And,
just gonna fill them in right off the bat, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
we have this key. It looks like this. I was given a vision by Urgathoa herself about what this key pertains to. Would you like to hold it?
Sure. And I just take it and
What do you see?
inspect it.
So you see an obsidian key. The shank of the key is carved to look like a forked tongue. That's really it. It's a key.
I see a very
Strange
interesting
Urgathoan
looking
brotherhood
kid.
going on that I don't quite appreciate.
Pretty short-sighted. And I put it back in my pocket.
Damn.
Okay.
Oh, fast friends, I suppose.
Apparently, their religion binds them.
Absolutely. To the core.
Oh, Zareth, are you also the chosen?
No.
Oh, I would love to hear.
Sorry, that really got me.
Does Zareth respond to that question at all?
I would love to hear about your relationship with your master. Are you
The
do you
Pallid
proclaim to be
Princess.
chosen or
Chosen. What is chosen?
oh maybe
Oh.
maybe our
Well,
companion can explain.
You see, I am the chosen of Urgathoa.
Interesting.
Yes, indeed.
I have heard murmurings around Grey Dirge of this chosen of Urgathoa that performs these mysterious and horrific yet miraculous deeds, but
Miracles are not for everyone, I understand.
what would make you more chosen than I, it being a
I don't know yet. I'm still judging your capabilities. You can't see any further than the key, so you're short-sighted. We'll move on with the other tests as we go forward.
fair enough.
Tests.
oh,
Well, we'll see.
Indeed.
the chosen and the taskmaster.
However,
I like that.
however, our goddess does bind us together, and I will protect him as such.
Surely.
Okay. This is interesting conversation proceeds as you make your way back to the bank.
As we're just like walking through town.
Yeah, and the town is it's nighttime and it is bustling. As you make your way to this area of the city, there are people everywhere of all. There are quick, again, not gathered in groups larger than 6. That would be against the dead laws.
Sure.
But there are milling about crowds of various undead creatures, which is the norm for Geb. You would see skeletons, zombies, mummies, ghouls. There are some dwarves milling about. Again, no more than 6 at any time. But you make your way, the crowds start to thin out a little bit as you make your way to this section of town. The buildings kind of start looming up higher and higher, and you know that these buildings have been identified. There are some signage and things. That a lot of this district was originally under the purview of the tax collectors. The bank itself is nestled between 2 large buildings that were devoted to the Tax Collectors Guild some time ago. And the bank lies before you. There are still those 6 black pillars topped with skulls outside the door. The door is shut. There are no little armies of finger bones marching back and forth in front of the door anymore. However, there are some scattered finger bones that are just lying about in various states of further decay since your last voyage here to the bank. So, what would we like to do?
As we're in exploration mode, I would like to search for traps.
Okay, search where?
The front of the bank, as to where I assume that Ophelia is going to kneel down and try and get us in this door.
You're already being that way, says Ophelia. She walks up to the door. So everyone's going to come up to this front section of the bank here?
I could try open sesame, but I don't think it quite works that way.
It does not.
My goddess is not the goddess
do
of
you
locked
want-
doors.
Do you want Remington in front of you or behind you? or-
In front of me, as close to Mert as possible.
Yep.
Where would Zareth like to be in this kind of formation as they approach the front door of this defunct bank?
I'll be right behind Mert.
Ah, perfect.
Okay,
Rounding up the back.
Yes.
so Lysander, you don't notice anything that would be, a trap or anything
Great.
here.
Just trying out my new skills.
However, Ophelia starts getting out her tools, her brand spanking new tools.
Not even a
Starts
scratch on them.
rolling them out. Yeah, I've never done this before. And she starts kind of like checking the lock.
I love it.
There's some kind of damage to the lock already. I do have crafting.
She does have crafting.
I took it.
Oh my goodness.
So
I love
she
this.
kind of spends some time studying. She's like, this lock has been burned with some kind of acid. This is going to make things a little harder for me to do this, but give me a moment.
Sure.
Does anybody have anything magical that can assist me with, just give me a little boost, some confidence, some help with this?
I can, Alara can cast guidance.
Great.
Boop.
Thank you. I feel much more confident already. Okay. So she bends down and gets out her picks and says, okay, don't watch me.
Okay.
Okay. It's my first time. I don't want you to see me mess up. And she starts kind of inserting the picks and listening as she's rolling these picks around in the lock mechanism. Here we go. Guidance is +1?
Yes.
Okay. So after a little while, she's like, I think I got it. And she opens the door just a little bit.
What?
We're in.
Oh,
Oh.
And she backs away from the ajar
give her a fist bump.
door.
That was easy.
That was good. Heck
I've been
yeah.
practicing.
That's good.
Aw, Mert can't give her a fist bump. So sad.
I love it.
I haven't decided if undeath is a curse or a blessing yet.
In Geb, it's a little bit of both.
Right?
Okay. So, the door is ajar. Who would like to walk on in there?
I'll lead in.
Remington will follow him. And I'll follow behind him.
Okay, so as you walk in, white and black marble floor of this expansive lobby was shaped proudly to display the national symbol of Geb, the silver glyph of the Wizard King. Low stone benches line a pair of alcoves to the east and west. To the north, iron doors flank the lobby. The northern wall is a teller's desk with a pair of thick panes of glass. The glass is currently clouded over by a greenish-white film. A single stone statue resembling a woman wearing a tattered cloak stands awkwardly just a few feet from the door leading outside, one of the hands reaching as if trying to reach the door, the other hand clutching a sack. That's what you see. So, what's everybody doing?
I'll certainly step inside and maybe start like searching over the counter to see if I see. Since somebody definitely came in here before,
Yeah,
I don't think they would seal a lock with acid when they were just transferring the goods out of here. So maybe Kebget already been here.
Okay, Lysander?
being that this has been closed for 2 years, are there is there a layer of dust on the floor in which you could see footprints?
Actually, there is not.
I'm just gonna be looking around the lobby in general.
Okay.
All right.
Alara's going to be examining the statue.
Okay.
What do you have there, lady?
So the statue, as you're giving it a once over, it looks like a human female, a statue of a human female. She's wearing a cloak with the hood kind of pulled up, and it's almost like she's holding the sack in one arm like a sport ball,
Oh.
and she's reaching out like she's so close to the door, and there's a look of panic on her face.
She's been turned to stone.
Oh, is this statue on a pedestal, or is this just standing there in the middle?
It's just standing there on the floor.
Oh no. Oh noes.
I see where this goes.
Perhaps the bank had a unique way of making an example of thieves.
That'd be awesome.
I'm gonna make note to that to the rest of the group of,
Yeah.
as I don't think this was an artistic rendering.
We should be careful because,
Yeah, for sure.
well, I mean, what we're coming for, we do have the key for the lockbox, but if there's some kind of magical defense or something, we should be wary of it.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna take a peek inside that door closest to me.
Oh.
This door here on the right? Okay, so you step over here. The door is actually a heavy iron door that's almost like a sliding door, and it's kind of set in some tracks. You would need to grasp a handle and kind of pull it along the tracks. And just looking at it, you can tell it's heavy. Are you trained in athletics?
No.
So you know that this is going to take some work to get this open.
Sure.
Mechanically speaking, if this was encounter mode, it would take you all 3 actions to open this door. It's that heavy, and the tracks have not been well maintained either.
We'll love that.
Okay. Does anyone want to give me a hand with this?
1, 2.
Yeah,
or
sure. I mean,
can?
I'll help you out. I don't know how good
So
I'll be.
we're not really in encounter mode yet. So you can just kind of really just put some elbow grease
Sure.
into it,
Okay.
and it'll kind of grind along those tracks.
Remy,
Maybe needs some oil.
help him pull that open, please.
Remy helps you pull this open, apparently. And
He
we'll
is trained in
reveal
athletics.
this room.
Interesting companion you have there.
His loyalty is never questioned.
Okay, so I'll get all my fog of war off of here, and then I'll describe the room. Mostly bare bookshelves line the wall of this long chamber. There is a long table here with a dozen cushioned chairs that stretches across most of the room. 5 skulls with blue flames flickering the eye sockets like candles sit in a row atop the table. The room has 2 iron doors in the west wall, you just came through one of them, and a single iron door to the north. The northern door and the western, the northernmost door on the west wall and the door on the north wall each have a small plaque directly to the right of them. You would probably have to get closer to the plaque to be able to read them.
Sure. But I think I'm most curious about the skulls right now. Like, is this actual fire, or like, is it giving off heat? Did someone light these?
So you kind of step up and kind of put
Sure.
your hands over the skulls, maybe push a chair out of the way, and just kind of, it does not give off heat. It just glows like a candle.
Okay.
I suppose I didn't notice anything of notice over the counter, so I'm happy to follow you in and see what you're up to. Maybe check the plaques with you.
Yeah, I think we'll just kind of move together, just like we cleared the other home.
Okay, which
Yeah,
door would
Zareth,
you
don't
like
run
to
off too
approach?
far. Hate
So
to
you-
lose you on our first mission.
That'd be some sad news to report.
Yeah,
Feel
Haldoli
ya.
seem fond of you.
There are some boxes and things over here, and you're still working at this statue. I'm gonna give you a. You're not trained in any of the things that you need.
Never am.
The story of our life. He says, make characters for this campaign. Don't pick any of the skills you need. It'll be great.
Moral support.
It is interesting though because the player's guide has specific skills, and I think we all did a pretty faithful, job of picking those. But
Yeah. Mine is crafting.
Yeah, you're looking at this and you notice that this is in fact any kind of like artistic expression behind this, aside from like maybe that someone wanted to capture panic in someone's face.
Okay.
But there is no like, signature or pedestal or any kind of display to it. And it is kind of a weird place for a random statue right by the front door of
Yes.
a bank. And there's no other matching statues to kind of create this motif, but that's really all you get.
Is there dust on it? Is there any indication it's been there for any length of time? Or is it?
It's hard to tell,
Okay.
but there's no obvious dust on it.
Okay.
Okay, so Mert, you want to check out the plaques on one of these doors?
Yep.
Which door? You have a door directly to the north, and you have one in the western wall there.
Well, I suppose I was looking kind of over the counter to maybe see what's that way, so I'll check the plaque on the left, or my left, first.
Over the counter. The teller thing here? You're talking about the teller desk?
Yeah, so whatever...
So you came up to the teller's desk. There's basically like a teller's wall.
Right.
And the two windows for the tellers are thick pane glass that have been
Right.
frosted over with this greenish white stuff.
Yeah.
So you can't really see through it.
Right, so just kind of generally, directionally, if I come into that room with Zareth, where that door leads left, potentially goes behind the teller's counter.
You would think so.
That's kind of the one I want to check out first
Okay.
to see.
Sounds great. So you step over to the door, and the plaque next to it. In common, it says restricted.
I'll check the other door. The other plaque.
Okay. So as you are walking up towards this, Mert stepped up there to read that plaque. A skeletal arm holding a sickle falls out of the ceiling and swings into the space in front of the door.
Oh dear.
Come on with these cocked dice. Okay. Oh, Mert. Does a 33 hit you?
Yeah, that'll get me, and that is also a crit.
Is that a crit?
It
Okay.
is a crit.
Oh my god.
All right, it's not a natural 20, so no card. But this skeletal arm just kind of, this panel opens up in the ceiling and shwink, it just falls and just slices right in front of that space.
Oof.
Okay.
Poor Mert.
Story of my life.
On life?
Story of my unlife.
May have been the story of your real life.
Yeah, maybe this is how I died too. I just got beat up incessantly until I gave out.
That's a lot of dice. You need to stop that.
It's a critical. Oh my god. Dude, this is 60 points of damage.
Holy
As this
shit!
side.
Are you sure there's not a typo in the AP or something?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm dying,
Oh my
but
gosh.
I don't think there's any specific rules for a threshold of
Holy shit!
like instant death, right? You just go to dying.
So there is something called massive damage,
Okay.
which is
Well, I'm sure I take whatever that is.
double your maximum.
Okay, so I'm safe from that. I'm safe from massive damage. So
Okay. Yeah. What is your maximum? Let me just look.
34.
Stop looking.
Oh man, so close.
But that does take me to dying 2 right off the bat.
Because-
Yes.
crit,
So
because it's
you
crit.
are dying 2 from this critical as this
Holy
blade
shit.
just kind of. So as you were walking up, and I got to get used to your name. Everyone knows I'm terrible with names. Zareth. Zareth. As you're walking up, you just see Mert just get blasted into a puddle by this skeletal arm bearing a scythe. Just, whong, just decimates your new companion.
Well, I kind of step back in shock and be like, guys, can you help?
Of course I can.
The two, so Ophelia and Alara probably don't even know this happens because
Yeah.
she's out here digging through this stuff over here.
I don't know what a ghostly scream sounds like, but I'm sure I just heard it. Good lord.
Probably didn't even have time. Just ah!
Oh, this says restrict.
What's the sound the ectoplasm makes when
Yeah,
it
there's
hits
just
the
this
ground?
flopping sound against the wall
Well,
and the
we'll
floor.
get a soundboard.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So Patreon out there, everyone, if you can get us to
Yeah.
a soundboard level,
Yeah.
we'll make some
Holy
some
crap.
splurty Mert sound effects.
Whoa.
That'll probably be the first one we have to upload.
100%.
Be most used SFX in this entire series for sure.
Good lord.
I am so sorry.
I thought when I got to level 2 I'd stop dying all the time, but
No, the
Here we
dangers get worse. As you
Patrick
get
says,
more
hold my
powerful."
beer.
that's
Yeah.
right. 60 damage.
Okay. So yeah, Lysander sees that as well.
I'm going to walk up to him.
Okay.
I do call out for help, so would Ilara have heard that?
Actually, yeah, I think both of them would
Okay.
have come.
Just
come
to
in.
be clear, I don't need to be right up onto him. because I'm not going to get. I'm
Oh,
not
you
going
don't wanna step right in front
I'm
of the
not going to
door?
get sickled.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
We'll
Oh,
keep
no.
you back here by
Yeah.
in the door.
As long as I'm within 30 feet of them.
So, Alara, you can come into the room,
Okay.
and we'll have Ophelia go ahead and come in. I'm like, what? Oh, no, not again.
A familiar sight.
I'm gonna cast a 2-action harm.
Okay. Go for it. Let me know what I get back.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I rolled almost max damage on that.
You get 13.
For most characters, that would have been massive damage.
I
Yeah,
think,
it would have been
think-
for me.
that
Yeah.
would have been a death somewhere.
You get 13.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm back with 13 and wounded 1.
I will.
Wounded 2.
Wounded 2 because I went to dying 2, or because it's the result of a crit that
Yeah.
makes it that. Got it.
Because you went to dying 2, you should be wounded 2.
All right.
I will nudge the scales to him for 6,
Cool.
and I am curse-bound 1.
Okay. I'm screwed up, so I'm gonna take some time to kind of get back out. Maybe not into the lobby, at least the other end of this room, and take some minutes to patch myself up.
Okay, maybe kind of back in this back corner and
Yeah.
get out your healer's kit. So this is going to take several minutes.
I'll stay with him and refocus and.
Okay, so yeah, we can do that. So this first 10 minutes, you can go ahead and roll your heal.
Got it.
Holy crap!
And if you want to take that roll and just
Yeah, if I could spend longer doing it, I'd be interested.
I mean, it's your time. If you take the full hour, you would double what you just
Right.
healed.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna spend an entire hour recollecting myself, patching myself up, and I actually might fish out a snack and eat it while I'm doing that as well.
So yeah, while he's bandaging away,
I can
you can
nudge scales and
refocus,
then refocus and nudge
refocus.
and then refocus and nudge.
So after 5 of those, that's 30 more.
That's 30 more.
I think.
I think I'm good.
Okay. So you may not even need to nudge that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while that hour was passing,
Good lord.
Ophelia said, "I did notice some things out in the lobby. Do you want me to go look at that? Can someone? I don't want to die here.
I'll go with her out to the lobby.
Noted.
Oh, okay. Anyone else? Okay.
I'm gonna continue to wait and try to
Well, Alara will go as well.
There
let my
you
wounded
go.
condition resolve.
There you go.
I'll regret this, but I'm just like, Alara's already like,
So
what in the world? We got a frozen person, and like we are not okay.
So Mert is
Hurt.
attending to himself for some time. You guys come out to hang out in the lobby. And again, there's like this low bench. There is still some detritus on the floor where people hurriedly gathered belongings and got them loaded up in the celebrants' wagons to get the riches out of here. But there are some things still left behind.
I'll rummage through, see if I see anything interesting.
I'm looking. I know that there are things in here. Yeah, there is like a satchel.
That's different from the one that's stone in the lady's hand.
Mhm. There's a leather satchel that Ophelia has noticed and pointed out when she came in the room. And as she's digging through that, she comes back up with mostly empty containers. However, she does discover a secret pocket in one of the satchels that has a rolled up piece of parchment in it.
Ooh.
This is a scroll. So the way scrolls are, they're kind of like wands. If it's on your spell list, you can look at it and know that this is something that you can cast. This is a scroll of magic aura, which I think Ophelia can use.
Noted.
So if you want to put that on the list,
Got it.
it's just the scroll. I can probably take it. I don't know.
Sure.
I think she kind of eyes Zareth for a little bit. Yeah, I think I'll hold on to this. So, but she'll come back and report that to Mert. I found. I know you want to keep notes. I found a scroll. Alara, did you want to hang out in the lobby anymore? Or?
I mean, she'll stay as long as everybody else does, but she's not really rummaging around. She's really paying attention to the surroundings and just everything. I think she's kind of on high alert at this point, just trying to take in, watching everybody else rummage and just kind of looking for, anything.
Traps.
She doesn't even know. Yeah.
Traps.
She's looking for traps.
That's the word we're
Traps.
looking for.
What makes you
Mushroom
think there
spores.
Yes.
Or
And because this is a bank, I
Let
can
me
use
do a
lore
mushroom
accounting
spore.
for all my checks here, right? That's
do
how
a
that works.
mushroom spore check
cool.
real quick?
or looking for anything else that's going to fall from the ceiling or
Yeah. Cut Bert in half.
Yeah, speaking of, well, I'm spending like an hour and 15 minutes wrapping myself back up and gathering back my ectoplasm. Do I notice that scythe in the skeletal hand is like hanging used, or is it like go right back up into the ceiling and like...
It is still hanging for a few minutes, but then after a few minutes, it does start to kind
Ooh.
of ratchet back up into the
Oh, it's
ceiling.
good. So I should just check that again. Try again. Okay, cool. Noted.
Yeah, I mean, how long do you want to watch it ratchet up? It's not very fast as it's.
I need to check the
resetting.
spelling on that sign. I'll be right back.
Could lore graders help me out with this bank? Like knowing any
Interesting.
specific quirks?
The quirkiest bank in town.
Okay.
He says,
So,
it's got this skeletal hand in the first room there.
Shit, everybody knows about that.
yeah, if you guys would have just asked me,
It's the talk of the
I could have
town.
just told you. So what you do know is very similar to kind of what Berlin has already kind of explained, is that 2 years ago there was some dispute as to the direct control and ownership of this bank, and that dispute went all the way to the capital city and the courts and halls there in Mekatar, and that after some dispute, the celebrants actually won their case that they control the bank. And a huge contingency of celebrants came to the city and made a huge show of emptying the bank of all of the wealth, all of the safety deposit boxes, all of the gold, all of the treasure. And they were showing it. Like, look at all this. This is now going to Mekatar and to King Geb. And those people that had this stuff in the bank in Geb now had to travel back and forth to Mekatar to have access to their monies. In the meantime, that bank is obviously drawing and investing and making money off of this money, but that's all going into King Geb's coffers, according to the celebrants. And there was a huge parade through town. It was heavily guarded, and a lot of the city was not very pleased about the fact that their money is going to the capital, hours and hours of travel away. And that would make banking much more difficult here. And there was a little bit of anger in the city afterwards, but the celebrants made a huge show of marching that wealth out of the town and into Mekatar, into the coffers of King Geb. That's what you know.
All
And that
right.
was roughly 2 years ago.
Okay.
So as you're pondering that, and Alara was out here looking around, Alara, you do notice that there seems to be some writing etched in a circle in front of this door over here.
Oh, okay. I'll note there's writing there.
What do you want to do with that? You want to go up and
Nope. No, I don't.
Stomp on it.
No, I don't.
want to feel it? You want to sniff it?
Sniff it.
Like, what sort of ink did they use?
Yeah, no, I might. I'll point it out, but she, like I said, she's got some very strong feelings about how the direness of the traps within this bank.
Okay, so pointing it out, I'm going to give a little bit of a boost to perception for Ophelia to kind of go and check that out. She's like, I do see it now that you mention it. There is like a circle very faint, just kind of, and wherever it's etched, I can almost see that there's like powder in the bottom of the runes that are carved there.
Oh.
Oh no.
She breathes in deep and she passes out.
Mushroom spores in every letter.
Gotcha.
Every
The
time.
1-2 punch combo.
Skeleton
It's
sickle hand in the mushroom spores.
Spore rune trap. Page 42 of the GM core. No, it's not a thing. Although that it does give me some devious ideas.
I'm just saying.
Powders.
Oh, no.
Powder and
Stay tuned. Your suspenseful pause is killing me.
Well, I'm wondering like what everybody else is doing.
So after Mert finds himself in reasonable shape, and I know I'm locked up in a lot of that time helping him.
Sure.
But after he finds himself in reasonable shape, I will move back out into the common room with everybody else. I have no drive to go through that door that turned Mert into a squirt. So,
Yeah, watching that slowly ratchet back up into the ceiling, I want nothing to do with that doorway. I might go as far as the doorway back into the lobby, but I may not go out all the way. Like, I felt safe in this corner, and I'm just gonna hang out and watch and see for a moment.
Okay.
Well, I'll kind of move up to see what everyone's looking at.
So right up here.
No.
Please.
I would like to search for traps in that general vicinity.
So okay.
That's a really good call.
And since Alara has pointed this out, I'm giving bonuses on these
Great.
checks. And yeah, everybody who's looking in front of the door can see these very faintly carved runes in a circle around the door. What are we supposed to do here?
Do they look arcane runes? Do they look like occult runes? Do they look like primal magic runes? Do they look like, runes of a lost champion that thought he was the chosen, but he's not chosen runes?
They look like you don't actually have the skill to know what these runes are.
Great.
Yep. Looking at your skills.
Great.
They are not runes that would pertain to any of your
I have
like
no,
your
yeah.
specific
Yep.
tradition of magic.
Sure.
okay.
Maybe help me out because I've never played 2E before, but
Sure.
in 1E this would be like detect magic. So what would the 2E equivalent of that be?
So you can detect magic, and what happens is like a 30-foot burst around you. You get the sense that there is some kind of magic present.
Sure. Okay. I mean, I can't detect magic, but I was just curious.
No, that's a great question. So instead of like a 60-foot cone, it's just a 30-foot burst, and you don't really get to like
No.
focus on it and learn a school or anything like that. You just know that
It's
there's
there
magic.
or not, yeah.
Now, when you get to certain levels, you can
Yeah.
heighten that cantrip,
Yeah.
which cantrips automatically heighten with you.
Yep.
And as the higher you get, I think around 10th level, you actually do start to get like the school. But it does take a while to get there because it has to be heightened 5 to get
Yeah,
that
yeah.
information. So you got to survive to at least level 3 to even think about it.
Wish me luck.
Wish you were here riding the...
Skeletal fingers crossed as they hold a scythe with your name on it.
with 3 fingers.
Okay,
no.
well, what's everyone's thoughts on this door over here and these runes? They don't make much sense. Are they in a language that I might understand? Is there any other, like, plaques or anything?
There's no plaque near the door, no. There's just this kind of faint circle of runes that, now that everyone's kind of pointing out, like, it's right there. Like, I mean, I can try it. I could try to disable it.
I mean... If we think that it's going to be... Are there any other doors in the room other than the one that we went through and then this door?
So the only other door, so you're in the lobby of the bank.
Yep.
You've got a door to the left, which has the circle of runes.
Yep.
You've got a door to the right, which leads to this kind of conference room with bookshelves.
With the hand scythe that killed Mert.
The door leading into the teller, the hand scythe
Yep.
took off.
Okay.
There's also that kind of door to the north that Zareth was starting to get close to. You did notice the plaque said restricted that way as well.
Sure.
But that's really your kind of only pathways through the bank is
Gotcha.
either to the left or through that conference room to the north.
I'd like to step back into the lobby and pull out one of the candles out of my backpack, and then just kind of like lob it in the middle of the circle to see if anything happens.
Interesting. Okay, go ahead and give me like a ranged attack.
Sure. What, a 13? Actually, that's not true. It's good. 17.
So that candle just kind of rolls into that space, and it's almost like I don't know, like you're bowling, right? Like the old shuffleboard at the tavern, and it just kind of rolls along the ground and kind of comes to a stop at the far edge of that circle, and just kind of wobbles for a second and sits there, and nothing happens.
First of all, us ghosts play bocce. We don't play shuffleboard. But just let me-
Sorry, I'm not versed on my
All right.
tavern.
I'm gonna.
board game.
I would step back. I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna pull my hand out of my glove, and I'm gonna lay my hand on the rune.
Like
And
on
I'm-
the floor.
Yeah, and I'm going to read psychometric resonance, and I'm going to try and see.
Okay, you put your hand in the middle of that circle.
Yep.
And all of the runes light up with this pale green, and this creature manifests in the circle and appears in that space right in front of you.
Great.
Let's roll for initiative.
All right.
Okay.
There we go.
I could have done thievery.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
All right, so we are heading into encounter mode, our first combat of the
let's
night.
go.
Joseph, are you excited?
Let's go. Let's go.
So let's get initiatives. Mert,
15.
15.
That's a
okay.
good roll.
Lysander,
18.
18. All right, pretty good. Elara,
22.
22. Zareth,
13.
13. Okay, so that's D20 plus your perception, right? Because you were looking out.
Oh, no, I did not. So that'd
Yeah.
be 17.
17. Okay. Yeah, it's just a slightly different in 2E. It's not based on dex, it's based on your perception. Unless you're doing something different in exploration mode, then it may rely on that, like if you're stealthing around or something.
Sure.
So 17, great. I'll roll for Ophelia. Okay, that's pretty good. She was definitely... Ophelia will defer to Lysander.
Great.
And then I get a roll for this creature. This thing looks like it has the head of a rooster, but there's like no feathers, and a serpentine body with bat-like wings, and very knobby-kneed avian legs.
You're just making things up at this point.
100%. He just opens up the book and he goes, "This looks good and that looks
Yeah,
good."
yeah. I'm gonna go with this, and let's see, perception. Let's roll a dice. Okay, and I'll add that perception, and things are off to the races. Let me put things in order, and you can think about what you're gonna do.
Great.
But I also have to think about what I'm gonna do
Yeah.
because I'm first.
Oh, lovely.
I hate all that.
Yeah. So this creature kind of manifests out
In
of
my
this
face?
circle, and I'm gonna put. I have a mini for this.
Oh boy.
Right there in front of the door appears this half avian, half reptilian beast.
Huh. Okay. That's interesting.
And it immediately, its eyes glow with this sickly green color that match the runes that brought it forth.
That like
And
match mine.
It pecks at your hand that's in
sure
the
it
rune
does.
circle. 27 to hit.
That hits. It is
Okay.
not a crit.
Not a crit. Okay, this is good. All right. So it pecks a little hole in the top of your hand for 6 points of damage,
Got it.
piercing. And then I'll need you to give me a fortitude save.
Fortitude save, you say?
Yes.
Okay. That would be a 21.
Okay. So you feel your hand like almost start to like harden. And it starts to peck at you even more. Just peck. Okay. This is a 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay, this is 1 point of piercing damage
Got
and
it.
another fortitude
Another
save.
fortitude save. 9.
Oh,
Okay. You are now slowed 2. As your hand starts to... It turns like a grayish pallor.
I would like to use Prophecy's Pawn and re-roll my save.
Here we go. Okay, reroll the save.
That is cocked.
That's what she said.
Right? That's not much better. That's an 11.
Okay, so you are slowed 1.
Okay.
As again, this strange... it's almost like your joints are locking up,
Yep.
your fingers are stiffening, you can barely move your hand.
Got it.
And it's
Slowed
a-
1.
This is a one-trick chicken. And your hand is right there in my circle.
Yep.
Oh, God. That's a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
oh my gosh.
Peck. 5 points of piercing damage.
Got it.
And another fortitude save.
Got it. That's 16.
Okay, so you are now slowed 2. Right, you were slowed 1 from the first fail, and now slowed 2 from this second fail.
Does it stack like that, or is it don't they supersede with?
No, they are stacked.
Yep.
Interesting.
Off to the races here.
No.
Not Lysander. He's not racing anybody in his
Yeah,
state.
for sure.
Yeah. Now this is starting to spread up your arm.
Sure.
And your arm, your elbow is locking up. Your fingers are not responding to your
Love it.
brain
Yeah.
signal.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Alara.
will this help you? No, that will not help you. Okay, I'm fairly close to him, aren't I? Is it possible for me in one round of movement to get where a 15-foot cone would only hit him? It looks like it from here, but I'm not.
Your speed's 25?
Yes.
Yeah, if you just run your cone right along the
Perfect.
front of this wall, it'll only hit this strange reptilian rooster.
Then that. Oh. Of course.
So that's one action to move over there.
Okay,
And this is
and-
a 2-action spell, right?
Yes. So
Okay.
I'm going to cast. Alara's going to cast Haunting Him. It's a basic fortitude save. 1 d8 of sonic damage. And
So natural 20 on the fortitude save.
Oh, come on!
I'm sorry.
Got the concrete rooster over here.
It's not going according to plan.
no.
It's all right.
The rooster might be the only thing that's not concrete very soon.
Okay, so it's a basic save. So since I natural 20, that's a critical save. So there's no effect, right?
Right.
No damage.
Right.
Okay. Boy. All right. That brings us to Lysander.
Great. I have one action because I'm slowed 2.
Yes.
Right? Or does that come when I regain my actions?
When you regain your actions at the start of your turn, you reduce the number of actions by your
I
slowed
have,
value.
So I have 1.
You have 1.
Great. I love that.
Yep.
I'm going to cast Soul Siphon on this chicken.
Okay.
Needs to make me a fortitude save.
All right. Let's just take a look at this. Blue. Okay. This is a spell, or?
It sure is.
Okay.
It's my focus spell.
Oh, that's why. All right. Let's go back to my rooster snake.
Rooster snake.
A fortitude, you said?
That's correct.
It's cocked.
Sure. I'd say that too if I rolled a 2.
Well, it wasn't. It rolled a 13
Yeah,
on the die. This is a little better. It's going to add up to 26.
Yeah. Okay. So He succeeds, so he takes half damage.
Okay.
So he takes half a 3. And it's
Okay.
void
So-
damage. I don't know if he's immune or...
So he'll take 1.
Great.
Okay.
And I gain 1 temporary hit point.
Okay.
Gonna need it.
100%.
Will be an extra alive statue.
That's right. And that's me.
Okay. Ophelia. Oh, I'm playing.
That's you.
That's you.
Oh. What would she do here?
We don't have a single hit on him, do we?
Hmm?
So we don't have a single
No.
hit on him, do we?
1 damage, I think. That's it.
Yeah, 1 damage.
Okay. So you see Ophelia just kind of raise her hands, and this dark, shadowy magic starts enveloping her fingers. And with one hand, she kind of starts crushing like this. And the reptilian rooster gives a horrible squawk as it kind of like spasms, and will need to make a save here.
There goes all those organs.
Okay, that's only a 12.
Oh.
Right.
Yep. So
Oh, now we see.
All
we
the
do
characters you play.
Yeah. Now we see.
We beat him up so bad last week, he has to come over here and play with all his toys.
That's right.
okay, that's not a whole lot of damage, but okay.
This isn't competitive, okay?
There, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. This is great damage for a cantrip. Okay. So yeah, this bird does squawk, and there's this, like just a little trickle of blood comes out of one of its nostrils.
Squawk.
That's 2 actions to do that. Lysander, get out of there.
I can't move my leg.
And then she's
Oh gosh, we
gonna...
can't drag you out. Well, I can't drag you out.
Okay. She's going to do a little recall knowledge for her 3rd action
Love it.
using Arcana. Guys, that's a cockatrice. Don't let it peck you,
Too late.
obviously. And that's Ophelia. Zareth.
Cockatrice.
I'm going to draw my machete.
Okay, that is 1 action to draw out the weapon.
Yep, move up to the creature and
Okay.
then take a swing.
Step up to there, and you'll give it a little swingy ding.
That is going to be 16 to hit.
A 16 does not hit.
Okay.
That's Zareth. Right.
Yeah. I'll enter my rage, and I'll move up kind of into that flanking position with Zareth.
So it won't actually. So he stepped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I see.
unless you wanted to actually move to this square.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was
Okay.
thinking.
All right. So then you can get there, and
Cool,
now
cool.
this creature is off guard.
Great. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. I guess I'm going to need to draw my sword and then strike. So, give a swing.
Okay. So rage, stride, rage.
Rage is free.
Okay,
Yep.
you're good. One
Yeah, I mean, I
swing.
could call it out when you say roll initiative, but it's easier just to call it out on my
It's
first
kind
turn.
of like that the Starfinder thing. Where
Yeah.
you just it's one of the things you can do as
Exactly.
you roll.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Great.
Want to get a card out for me? It's a 1.
One of them black cards to start the night for Mert.
Oh no.
This is
It's
not
tough.
good.
Tough. I got to be able to deal at least a quarter the amount of damage I take, right? Like, I got to
Hopefully,
get
right?
close.
I'm glad we took that hour to heal.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
those of you just tuning in maybe for the first time, anytime we get a natural 1 or a natural 20, those are usually going to guarantee a critical hit or a critical fumble. It depends on your total value. I'm guessing with a 1, it's definitely a critical fumble. And on the natural ones, we will draw a fumble card that's going to give you some bad things happen. However, on the flip side of that, if you get a natural 20 and do in fact score a crit, we'll get a crit card and get some really cool rider effects on top of the damage. This is a slashing weapon?
Yes, sir.
Oh boy. I think, yeah. We had that last week. Let's draw this one. Decision paralysis. You are slowed 1 until the end of your next turn.
Okay. Noted.
So that's Mert. Round 2, it's back around to the cockatrice. And the subject of my ire is still right in front of me. Peck number 1. 16 to hit.
That'll miss.
Okay. Oh, that's even worse. I traded out die and now I'm regretting it. So I'm going to trade back. All right. So this plus 18.
That is my AC.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, this is 7 more piercing damage.
Got it.
And I'll need another fortitude save.
Got it. That is, I rolled a 17 on the die.
Oh,
And
good.
so, and plus 6 is what?
23.
23.
That doesn't do it.
So you're okay for now. Okay. That's all of its actions, Alara.
All right. Alara's gonna cast Biting Words.
Well, the things she's going to say about this thing.
Let's see. I
My brain is reeling with the possibilities of a cockatrice.
Uh-huh.
oh no. Let's see. I think we already know that a 16 does not hit.
A 16 does not hit, so
Okay.
It is off guard.
The echoes. Oh, you're right. 16 does hit at being off guard.
Uh-oh.
So the echoes of your words
Okay.
pummel into this reptilian, avian ear holes.
Okay.
Oh, man.
So Laura says, "Peck on someone your own size, you abomination."
Okay, how much damage do I take from that nonsense?
Okay. Oh, nice.
She says that.
Yes,
in
12.
Cockatrician, too.
Max damage.
12 damage.
12. Yes.
All right.
I'll take that
Heavy
for
hitter.
once.
Yeah, and we did know last week that this is not language dependent, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, just the sonic force of your horrible joke hurts the thing. Okay, that's 2 actions. What do you like to do with your third?
Then she's going to cast Courageous Anthem for the team.
Oh, all right. So remind everybody, especially
Okay.
our new player, what that
Yeah,
does.
so Courageous Anthem, I'm gonna sing a little inspiring song. And it's going to give all of my allies in the area a +1 status bonus to attack rolls, damage rolls, and saves against fear.
All right.
So enjoy that for the next round.
Yeah,
Gonna need
even
it.
though you are afraid of turning to stone, it doesn't count for your. Okay.
Oh, that'd be a sweet way to.
Yeah.
I'm turning to stone because I'm scared of it.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to die to the stone.
Yeah, it works for everything.
Yeah.
Okay, that brings us to Lysander.
So-
So you're still slow too.
I'm still slow too.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a 5-foot step backwards. That's me.
Okay. Probably smart.
Quick and simple.
Okay, so I'm gonna mark here that you are slow too.
Don't worry, I have it marked as well. Jerk.
Because I got to figure out how many times this can happen before you're forever slowed.
What is never?
Low level
Okay,
encounters that suck.
Gotcha.
For 500, please.
Yeah.
Daily
this is,
double. Wah, wah, wah.
This is a lot of fun. Okay, it's Ophelia's turn.
It's a lot of fun.
Ophelia, your character's hard to play. She's gonna kind of look back at one of those satchels with the empty bottles over there in the corner, and she's gonna point a finger at it and telekinetic projectile right at that at the bad boy. Okay. Spell attack. 15.
I didn't
Okay.
know this was a bad boy cockatrice. Good to know.
Even off guard, that's gonna a glass bottle smashes against the wall right above it,
That's fair.
and then she's going to kind of step maybe to get. I need to clear a shot. All right, that brings us to Zareth.
All right, I'm gonna take a swing.
All right, this creature is off guard because you're in a flanking position.
Okay, 26 to hit.
26 is technically a critical, so roll your dice one time and double the number you get.
Okay. Ooh, max damage. So that's 18 points of damage.
18
Yes.
18 points of damage.
damage.
I love that.
As this, you said this is a machete,
Yes, a
Just-
machete.
buries itself in the flank of this cockatrice.
Love it.
Okay, that's your first action. What's your second action?
I'm gonna take another swing.
All right.
That one went well, so
Yeah.
12.
12 total.
Yes.
12 total is a miss.
Okay. And then I'm going to, for my third action, raise my shield.
Okay. Good call.
Good use
That
of
will add your armor class from your, or I'm sorry, it'll add your shield bonus to your armor class. And then you have that reaction then to shield block as well. Even if I manage to land a hit, that brings us to Mert.
I'm slowed one still from that fumble card.
Yes, until
So-
the end of this turn. So
right.
when you regain your actions, you lose
I'll be
one
good.
of them.
Yep.
You have 2.
All right. So for 2 actions, then I'm gonna do something called Intimidating Strike. So I'm gonna
Okay.
try to
Yes.
attack it, and if I succeed, it'll be intimidated.
Demoralized, baby.
Poopy. Okay.
It's a 15 on the die, so
There
I
we
think it's a 24.
He says, here we go.
23 to hit.
Okay, 23 does hit. It's not a critical.
Okay. Roll some damage up here.
Sounds good.
9 plus 7, that's 16 points of damage. And then it is frightened 1.
Okay, it's frightened forever because you can go ahead and dispatch your foe.
Sweet.
Yay.
Yeah, I'll just basically a big wide stroke with the great sword just lops its head right off.
Okay.
Nice.
And it thumps to the floor, and this greenish blood spills out of its serpentine neck, and then it kind of vanishes in this kind of puff of green magical energy, and disappears, head and carcass. Ooh, what do we do now?
Well, I suppose the magical sentry that was placed here is dispatched, so if we can check the door there, we might as well, right? But maybe I'll look at it for traps first before I throw it open willy-nilly.
Okay, so you're gonna come over and check this door for traps?
Yeah,
Is that what I heard?
that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and give you a perception. It doesn't appear to have any traps on it.
Cool. I'll wait and check with my party because I know Lysander got beat up pretty good, so
Yeah, his one arm is completely useless.
Yeah.
He's just holding it out like locked.
Yeah, it's kind of like,
Yeah. However, the spread has stopped.
well, that's
So
good.
that's something. And Ophelia, with her recall knowledge, will say, you know, if you had been pecked or bitten by that thing even one more time, you may have been a statue forever. You got lucky. How long do you want to wait at that door?
I don't want to wait long. I just wanted to give a quick glance back to make sure everybody's okay with me throwing this door open before I do it.
I will use Nudge the Scales on myself
Sure.
as a one action to heal myself 6, and then I will be Cursebound 2.
Okay. We can fast forward a little bit. Maybe it only takes actually 1 minute. So after this battle is over, you feel like this paralysis, whatever is happening, this calcification of your joints
Sure.
starts to subside. Your elbow kind of, you can feel like you've been straining those
Yeah.
muscles, trying to get movement back, and slowly you can just get a little twitch out of it.
Yeah.
And then after a minute, your fingers are now moving, and you feel okay.
Okay.
A little worse for wear, maybe,
Yeah,
but
I don't
okay.
like that.
And do you need to nudge the scales anymore? Or?
I mean, if we're not gonna stand and wait, then I'll just go through with what I got. We'll just keep pressing on.
Okay, open the door.
Yeah, throw it open.
All right.
I'll follow.
Let's take a look what's behind door number 2. The cockatrice door.
I will make sure that Remington stays in his place between me and everything that hurts from now on.
Sure. You seem quite handy with that machete. I didn't expect that to be a keen weapon of war, but you seem to wield it well.
Okay.
You do that? You give me the
Sure.
This
with
is
your
actually
shield
gonna
arm or
open
your machete arm?
I stow it just to.
Oh, okay, and then you draw it right back
yeah.
out. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I missed it. Was there like finger guns or something?
Yeah.
Did you learn that from the dwarves of Donganhold or something?
Hey, my arm's still a little right. Like it's hard to articulate.
That's right.
All right, this is opening up in a long hallway.
You're trying to give me a thumbs up, and it was just this instead. His fingers just stuck forward.
What the hell's going on here? This is the weirdest thing.
A hallway lined with 4 doors leads, well, actually I should describe it from the north down. So way up here in the corner, you see a 10 by 10 slab of iron embedded in a stone floor in the northwest corner of this kind of stretch here. There's a hallway lined with 4 doors leading south. You just open one of the doors. Excuse me. There is a large alcove east and another in the north wall. There is a corpse lying in a dried pool of blood just a few feet south of that iron door. And the blood kind of pools around it but stops at that iron slab. And standing over it is a creature, and it looks up from the corpse with one eye socket empty, the other eye socket smoking, and it just looks at you. You are unauthorized.
His arms, little petrified as well.
You know, I just wanted to open a door. I just want to get that out of the way before I'd go splat again.
Yeah, right.
The door
I
is
wasn't really
open,
trying to like speed run all the monsters, but
and yeah, it has definitely noticed you as it's standing there over that corpse. And since we now have 2 parties aware of each other, let's roll for initiative.
What the fuck is that thing?
I didn't say it that way.
you know you're having a rough day when you're considering cashing in your skull bone
For initiative.
initiative.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do it.
I need more space back here. This will be great.
I need more skull bones.
Well, you could
no.
you could press your GM screen out onto the front of the bank.
I may do that at the break. We'll see what happens here. Or it's either that or I'm just clumsy. I think it's just I'm clumsy too today.
I would never presume to give you that condition.
I would.
Forget it. Wait, okay. All right. What did Alara get?
22.
Okay, that's easy because you were 22 last
Yeah.
time. Lysander?
12.
Okay, Ophelia? Oh, that's me. I'll wait till later. Zareth?
24.
24. Okay. That's a good one. And Mert.
7.
Okay, that's not a good one.
Well, it wasn't a 1.
Okay,
As
and
low as I
Ophelia-
can possibly get.
Did you pull a 1?
Oh, it was a 1. Never mind.
Yep. All right, so let's put things in order here. Zareth, you are going to be first. So Mert opens this door, and you hear this voice echoing down this hallway that just says, "You are unauthorized." Well, what do you do with that?
Well, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hesitant to just run down there because
I don't
it's a-
blame you. Yeah.
This new
Close
party sure
area.
gets in a lot of trouble.
But yeah, I'll just go for it. I'll double move to get down there and give it a swing.
It is the reason you were hired, right?
My bravery.
Yeah. So, okay, so you say you're going to double move down this hall. What is your speed, by the way? Is it 25?
25.
Okay, so 5 to get to the door, 10, 15, 20, 25. So, yeah, will be 2 moves to get right in front of it or to the side of it?
Let's do to the side.
Okay.
Yeah, right there.
All right, great. So that's 2 moves to get there. You do get 1 swing.
That is a whopping 13 to hit.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not going to hit.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, but you definitely have shown some bravery to your new compatriots as you've charged into battle. Alara.
Alara's going to move forward. That's good.
Not too much now.
Not too much. I just want to.
You do have 5 more feet of movement if you'd like.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Just checking.
And then who's? Well, you're obviously not next. Are you? Listen, are you next?
I don't.
You have a pretty good feeling that Ophelia is going to be next.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna cast
Suppose
guidance.
that's metagaming.
No, wait. Who did I give guidance on earlier?
So you gave guidance to Ophelia to
Okay.
be able to
So okay.
disable the.
Oh wait,
But we
it's
spent
been
at
an
least
hour.
an hour.
Oh,
With
right.
my medding. So
Never mind. Then I will give it to Ophelia again.
Okay, so she'll get a +1 to an attack or a skill check or a
Yes.
save. Okay,
Yeah.
whichever comes first. Is it whichever comes first, or does she get to choose?
She gets to choose.
She chooses.
Okay, very cool, very cool. Okay, so that's 2 actions,
Oh.
right? 1 action for guidance, isn't it?
Yeah. One move, 1 guidance, and then you know what? How about some sort of recall note? Let's see what I can learn about this.
Okay.
Oh my gosh!
Look at this.
Here we go.
Okay.
Whatever. I don't.
This is that. This is okay. Ooh, really? Okay.
Wow. Wow.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Right.
Okay. All right, here we go. Yeah, you really have no idea what this thing is.
Wow. Didn't expect that outcome.
Yeah, that'll learn you to do that recall knowledge crap.
Wow. Okay. Really? I guess it's because of the rarity of this is going to really boost in that DC is the problem. Okay, but that's still a great use of the 3rd action to at least get a
Absolutely.
sense of what your enemy even is. Okay, it is now this creature's turn.
Oh no.
Okay. So it just kind of glares at you with this one smoking eye. This creature is like a hulking humanoid with its flesh kind of taut around its frame. It has long claws on its hands and feet. And like I said, one eye socket is completely empty. The other eye socket is this kind of just smoke emanating from the socket, pouring out of the skull and kind of lifting up to the ceiling, and it just glares at you, unauthorized, and punches you.
Great.
Access card, please. No. Yeah. It is alive.
it is awake. It is awake.
Yeah. I don't know if this one is because it's only a 16 to hit.
It does not hit.
Okay,
I love that.
so I'm going to try again.
Same.
Yeah.
Ooh, that one's a natural 1.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull the old black card from this creature.
Oh no. Well, oh yes for us, but
This is a natural attack because it's using its fists. Oh my gosh.
I'm so ready.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. So it takes this wild swing, and maybe you just kind of duck out of the way, and with it just comes around on its own claw and like gouges himself in the flank as it hits itself. I don't like that one bit. So that means I'm going to roll damage. Oh, look, it's minimum damage.
Nice try.
Oh boy, what is this going to do here? Oh no. Okay. So yeah, it just like gouges some flesh out of its flank. What am I going to do with that?
it's exactly what you wanted to do, right?
Good turn. Keep doing that.
MVP.
Okay. So in order to get this thing off, I do have to hit you, so I'll try to hit you. So with the 3rd swing, remember, it's -5 each time I take an iterative attack with multi-attack penalty. So this is -10 right off the top. I hate it.
Well, if it is natural, it might be agile potentially.
It is.
Yeah.
This is a 20. to hit.
That's a hit.
A 20 hits. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
So you're going to take 9 points of damage.
Okay.
And those claws try to grab a hold of you as they kind of rend through your flesh, but it doesn't have enough actions to actually get that grab off. Darn it all. Ophelia, that's me. All right, stop making me play your characters, people.
Would you like a hat?
No. I don't think Ophelia has a hat. I don't know. We'll have to find out. She can't even really see the creature, so she's going to have to spend a move action to even get into the hallway here. Okay. So she'll kind of point 2 fingers, and this kind of bolt of black energy just kind of starts blinking right towards the creature.
Phase bolt.
It's a 23 to hit.
Hey.
All right.
So because of phase bolt, now typically you're kind of giving this creature cover because you're standing in front of it, Zareth.
Sure.
So because of that, it would get a bonus to its armor class. However, phase bolt negates 2 of that bonus because it's phasing in and out of existence as it passes right past you and maybe even through you, blasting into the creature.
Love that.
Okay, we'll get that out the break. Okay, for 6 damage. Not too bad, not too bad. That brings us to Lysander.
Great. I'm going to take a move. I'm going to stride into the room. My speed is 25. I just need to be within 30 feet of Zareth.
Okay, so yeah, in order to do that, you'll have to get in front of
That's
this
fine.
group here.
That's fine.
You're about 15 feet away from Zareth.
I will cast Forbidding Ward with Zareth and You Do Not Have Access guy.
Okay.
So this mysterious green barrier surrounds those two, and as they are kind of engaged in this combat, as this combat is swirling on, you get that Sherlock Holmes effect where they kind of slow down, almost telegraphing their own strikes with one another.
I love that.
As you get a +1 to your AC against only that creature.
Okay, great.
Who is this Sherlock you speak of? Okay, very cool. So you move in and Forbidding Ward, right?
Forbidding Ward. You get a
Ward.
+1 to your armor class and saving throws against the target enemy's attack spells and other effects.
Yep, very good, very good. And that's a great spell to use when there's a one-on-one kind of going on like this.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, that brings us to Mert.
And a rage, and I think I'm gonna have to sudden charge. And when I sudden charge, I get to stride twice, so I am gonna try to move up to 50 feet and try to get into that flanking position again, if I can make it that far. So you just let me know.
Yeah, you do have the movement to get there.
Oh yeah.
Great. Yeah, so get me in there, and then I get to strike. I feel like this is like not flat. Go over here. That's going to be a 17 to hit it off guard.
17 hits it off guard.
All right. Okay. How about 15 points of damage?
All right.
And I'm going to just swing again. And that is going to be 11. So.
Yeah, 11 is unfortunately going to miss. So it's 2 actions of sudden charge. You get the 2 moves and the
Two
swing
moves,
all
swing,
built in.
and then swing my third.
One action for the third swing.
You got
or
it.
second swing. All right, that brings us to round 2. Zareth. Your turn is starting.
Okay, I'm going to...
Before you do that,
Oh.
it glares at you.
Oh.
It glares at you, and the smoke intensifies as it boils out of that eye socket. I need you to give me a fortitude save.
42 save.
Did
Okay.
you
As
get a
you
plus?
start your
Did you
turn.
get a +1 from your Forbidding Ward from me?
Yes.
Thank you for that reminder. 25.
Fine.
Urgatho is with us this day.
True it. Okay, so I'm going to take a swing
Okay.
with my machete. And that is a 23 to hit.
23 is a hit.
Okay. That is 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage.
Love
okay.
it. Love it.
Okay. So for my second action, I will take another swing.
Perfect.
That is 11 to hit.
11 unfortunately does not hit, even in its off guard kind of positioning right now.
Okay, and then for my third action, I'll raise my shield.
All right. Brilliant. Alara.
All right. Let's see. Okay, Alara's going. Well, let's see. 15 feet. I'm more than 15 feet from the main group around the creature, aren't I?
Yeah, at this point you are.
Okay, I
You're
just want to
probably
move
not-
up enough so I'm within 15 feet of. I guess even I want to get Merton there. Okay.
You do want Merton there?
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna have to get right up behind
Sure.
Zareth,
We
and
can
then
do
that will put him in the cone.
Ooh.
Ooh, I'll be okay.
How does this feel? It's just getting a little tingly,
Oh
getting
my
into the
gosh.
action.
Yeah.
Mixing it up for sure.
Yeah,
There
and
you
then
go.
I'm gonna cast and then Lara's
yeah.
gonna cast Bless.
Yeah.
Great.
And then that will me and all my allies within 15 feet get a +1 status bonus to attack rolls, as long as you're within that 15 feet.
Cool. I'll take that.
Heck yeah.
And that'll be my turn.
I told you you are unauthorized. Zareth, you've really. He's gonna punch your way, Zareth. Oh boy. That's a 30 to
Oh
hit.
my god.
That is a hit.
Okay, does that exceed your armor class by 10 or more?
It does not.
With his shield raised, huh?
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
with the shield
yeah.
raised to my forbidding ward.
You poopy. All right, so it's just a regular hit. I'll take it.
Okay.
$10 points of damage,
10 points of damage.
and then it'll attempt to grab you.
Okay.
So this is going to work a little bit different than what we're used to in 1E with CMB, CMD. This is basically going to be an athletics check against your fortitude DC.
Okay.
So you're going to take your fortitude bonus at 10. I got to roll to beat it. Ready?
Okay.
26.
That exceeds.
Okay. So that claw grabs a hold of you, just like right around your neck.
But not a crit success, right? Just success.
What was it?
That's a
What was
good
it?
question. 26.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't a critical
Okay, good.
success.
Okay.
Just making sure.
Yeah, it has to be 10 over.
thanks.
Yep. I sensed a little bit of sarcasm in that. Thank you.
He said, just let it slide, man.
Okay. So when it grabs a hold of you, I need you to give me a fortitude save.
Another. Okay.
Yep.
That is 22.
Okay. So you feel your life essence like trying to be pulled out of you as this smoke kind of intensifies. But you're okay for now.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll smack you again. Unauthorized. 20 to hit.
It does not hit.
Oh man, okay. Great turn, dude. Okay, Ophelia.
It is awake.
Hey, if it works, phase bolt again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, that might be. It is.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Okay, even though it's off guard, it is still not a critical, but she does hit with this phase bolt. Okay, and her phase bolt is. You'd think I have all your spells memorized by now, right?
That's all you do during the week is read through our sheets, right?
Yeah.
Who needs a real job?
Who needs yard work or
Yeah.
a job or a wife? Just Pathfinder. I'm not, no, Angela, if you're watching, I'm sorry. It's a joke. One more of these.
Couch is warm.
Just think of all the minis you can paint while you're on the couch.
That's true. I would have a lot of mini painting time. Oh my gosh, you're gonna get me in big trouble. Stop it.
Would never.
So that phase, that blast of black energy slams through for 8 points of damage, and it just kind of like unauthorized. Lysander. You can't do that again. Okay, Lysander.
I would like to, for one action, I'd like to command Remy, so he can take essentially 2 actions, and I want to have him stride twice.
What is his speed?
15.
He said,
So he comes in right behind you,
Dejectedly.
basically.
Great. Yeah. Welcome to be late to the party, bud.
Sorry.
You're fine. I will, one action, I will sustain my forbidding ward on Zareth.
Okay, cool.
So that
cool.
stays up.
Yep.
And I will cast shield on myself as this sickly green shield raises in front of me and then detaches to form a barrier around Lysander.
All right, very cool. Mert.
I'm just gonna start swinging wildly on this guy, and this like abnormally deep voice comes out for me, and just like die, and I'll just start swinging these big overhead swings at him. That's gonna be an intimidating strike,
I
and I understand, may or may not work.
Oh boy.
We're doing it. 18 to hit, off guard.
Die. I love it.
Okay, it does hit.
Okay.
Intruder alert.
12 points of damage.
12 points of damage.
Yep.
Okay. And I guess I'm intimidated to death. So go ahead and dispatch your foe. I did my best!
Yeah, just repeated overhead swings. Even after it crumples to the floor, I'm just still beating on its mound of flesh that's on the ground.
Yeah, it starts rotting away almost immediately, and that smoke stops emanating from its eye socket.
Great.
I'm not sure anyone in the party with their recall knowledges as it's dying even know what this thing even is. However, you do have this corpse laying on the floor in front of this iron slab. There's no markings or anything on the slab, but everyone standing here does notice, especially if you're on or very near the slab, Alara, Zareth, Mert. The blood that pooled around this corpse abruptly stops at the iron slab in the floor. What do you do?
When I come out of my rage, just back to normal Mert, like, I think we got him, guys.
Yeah. Handedly. You smashed. It was awesome. Yeah.
It's strange here that the blood stops at the edge of this slab. Can I maybe take a moment to kind of inspect it and see
Yeah.
what would be unusual about that? Like maybe there's some place where the blood's running down, right?
So there's a seam around the iron slab.
Mm-hmm.
The blood kind of goes to that seam and stops flowing. And that's really all you can see. The seam is very tight. It's almost microscopic, really.
So it's not like blood is like pouring down into some crevice. It's just kind of...
No, there's a very nice join between the iron and the stonework.
Interesting.
We could try pushing on it and see if it budges.
Okay, so you go and kind of stand on it and kind of
No.
do some power squats.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. I was just checking. I'm trying to envision what it was you were doing.
I'm going to teach you
You
2d
just kind
fall
of give
damage.
that
Get ready.
recommendation.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I'll kind of, well, I see Mertz on it, but,
But
yeah, I
I'm
guess-
floating above it.
Yeah,
I'm
he's-
kind of giving the recommendation of like we could try to just push this and see if it moves, or maybe it's just part of the room.
I suppose I could check it for traps, says Ophelia as she walks in and does so. I'm not really seeing any mechanisms here to open it or to indicate that there's a trap, but maybe we can figure this out after we take a break.
Nice.
I think I'm going to refocus while we're taking that break.
Okay, that seems reasonable.
Because I'm not going to participate in this conversation, so I can stop being Cursebound too.
Okay, yeah, that's dangerously bad for
Yeah,
you.
that's not good.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and take a break here at the midpoint.
And the characters are taking a break too, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah, as they ponder what to do about this iron slab. So yeah, we'll have in-game, we'll have some 10 minutes. So think about maybe what your characters are doing for the 10 minutes, refocusing, whatever.
Cool.
In the meantime, I'll kind of hang out with you guys here on camera. I'm not going to go anywhere now. I normally don't watch the chat while I'm playing this game. I try to pay attention to what I'm doing. Maybe sometimes better than others, but I'm going to pull up chat and kind of take a look if there's any questions out there. Anything you guys want to chill and talk to me about, we'll do that in chat as the cast takes a short break, and the crew as well if they like to. And as they slowly filter their way back, then I'll kind of take my little break as well. But yeah, don't go anywhere because we're going to hang out and keep you guys company as everybody kind of ebbs and flows, no pun intended.
Cool.
All right,
Thanks,
so
sir.
let me grab my chat here.
BRB.
Normally I rely on Jenny to help me out with this, so I'm gonna try real hard to kind of. All right, hey Slayer, thanks for coming in. Ectoplasm has the consistency to mayonnaise. It could be.
Yep, the tasty zip of ectoplasm.
Yes, yeah. I'll take a pastrami and rye. Hold the ectoplasm. All right. Hi, Mysterio. Thanks for joining. Laura, hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, everybody. It's Josh, one of our crew members, hanging out on camera.
Yeah, I've already been on camera like 7 times because they don't know how to push the button fast enough.
I honestly haven't been watching the monitor. So
No, it's quick.
I got too much nonsense going on behind this little screen. And you may hear it from time to time, dice and pens and papers and miniatures. It's very hard to keep track of, but that's okay. We're figuring out the fly cam, and I think we're going to get our direction spot on. But I love having the up close and personals as they roll those critical dice rolls. So
I'm
very
gonna
cool.
show it to everybody just because we have some time.
Yeah,
So,
check this out, guys. This your support out there is helping to provide us this
Trip and die.
tech and gear to try and bring you this content, this
right.
kind of cutting edge technology that we
I
use
don't know
in
if
our
you can see
shows.
it very well. So this is a camera rig with a 4K camera sitting on top of it, with a crappy lens on it because we're poor and lenses are expensive, and I have my cell phone attached up here so I can watch chat and kind of see what's going on because the solution we had didn't work. But anyway, this is how that whole fly camera thing works. And you see me zip it across the screen real fast. It's because I'm faster than they can push the button.
Yeah, we have 2 people working the tech crew, so it is it's not like a TV production studio where you have like
Needs to be.
multiple cameramen, and you have a director, you have production assistants running around doing all the things.
Screaming, getting
Yeah.
coffee and being yelled at.
Oh man, getting coffee for the that's cool.
Yeah.
Is that what a PA does?
Yeah, pretty much. They're basically a type of slave.
Okay. No offense to any PAs out there.
No, but they know.
But yeah, so our tech crew, like I said, with the 2 guys that we have going on, all the cameras, all the lights, all the sound, all the music, all the things that make this show possible for us to kind of take this stuff we're doing at the table and bring it out to you. I mean, they're on it, and we appreciate you. So thank you, Josh, and thank you, TJ. I know you're out there with your ears in. We appreciate you guys more than you know. Kind of the hidden heroes of our cast here.
And Jess is helping too. She's here on
Oh
Mondays
yeah,
now.
Jess,
Supporting.
okay.
And Casey will be here tomorrow, which she plays another character in the other.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I've met Casey a time or 2.
Yep.
So yes, thank you guys. You are much appreciated.
I'm gonna go put this really heavy rig down.
Yeah, be careful with that.
Yeah, no, I bought it. It's expensive.
Yeah. You saved up a lot of lunch monies.
It's like $4,000
Four-
of tech sitting right now.
Wow, okay, that's a lot of lunch monies.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, your guys' support out there helps us continue to evolve and adapt our technology so that we can improve our show for you and create the kind of content that we feel is high quality to bring to you. So again, if you are out there Be sure to follow on Twitch. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube. If you can, check out that Patreon. The Patreon, it's a monthly subscription service, but that money helps support the show, and you get a little thank you in return from us in the form of physical rewards. Like we have some stickers to give out.
Yep, stickers. I think a jacket.
Yeah, you can get an Elite Encounters t-shirt. You can either get the Elite brand t-shirt like what Joseph is wearing here, or the official Bloodlords t-shirt. We could probably cut one up for you and get that out to you.
We're gonna make a better one. That was our, that's the V1.
Yeah, that was the prototype. I think it's cool. I wear mine like I used to wear mine to physical therapy all the time.
That's
and,
like, what's Elite?
Yeah, and I'm like, I am, dude. And they're like, okay, give us 30 more gluteal crunches.
Do you need physical therapy if you're elite?
Okay,
yes.
That's enough of that. Yes, if you're elite in age, you do.
Maybe he's in elite need of physical therapy.
Yeah,
Fine,
I certainly was.
seat.
I certainly was.
Here, give him my card. There.
Yeah, and I actually did give both my therapists a card. So
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so the cast seems to be filtering back,
right,
so
I'm
going to go ahead and shut up for a little bit.
Josh. Bye.
And again, hello everybody out there in chat. If I didn't get to any of your questions, you can email us. Mike, if you want to share like the general email to send questions to the cast and crew.
Sure. So if you want to email us, you can go to office at elite-encounters.com.
There you go. Awesome. Yeah.
Right. And yeah, we'll check that, and if there's something that maybe didn't get brought out on air, you can let us know that way. Or if you have questions about our Patreon,
Yep.
if you need some tech support, how to subscribe to that, or if you have any other questions about any of our shows, cast, crew, whatever.
Yep.
I'm gonna shut up and go.
See you in a moment.
to
Yeah.
bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say like another great avenue for that to get connected to the cast and crew would be to jump on the Discord.
Discord.
If you're linked up to that, get in there, talk to us. We're happy to respond. A lot of us are in there most days,
Yep.
so we see stuff pretty quick. We'll get back to you, and if you just want to have a private chat about something specific regarding the show, great. Or if you just want to hang out, sometimes we're just in there hanging out on voice chat. That's another great way to just connect with us, because that's kind of part of what we want to have. It's not just this game we play, but a community we build with you guys.
For sure.
So we want to be able to connect with all the viewers and the people that watch, especially the elite. That's important to us.
And so we'll give a small update on so we were having some technical issues last week. A lot of what Josh was talking about with the high-tech stuff that we use, right? We have a professional video switcher, kind of like you would see at like a news broadcast, but a little smaller. And we record with that, and then we also push the footage out to YouTube and to Twitch. Last week we were having an issue. We were not able to access the ATEM, which is the switcher, after we filmed Tuesday's episode. So I had the Critical Knowledge episode filmed and ready to be edited, but I couldn't access the ATEM to actually get in and pull the footage off of it to get access to it and edit it down and get it ready. But today, as a matter of fact, we were able to figure out a way that we could get access to that software inside the ATEM. So we should be good come Friday for us to get back on track with Critical Knowledge.
Good stuff.
And we have a pretty solid roadmap as to where we're going with Critical Knowledge and stuff like that, and the lore check and kind of diving into this world of Galarian. That is the world that we're playing in here. Again, we are going to avoid Geb and Nex for the foreseeable future, so that way we don't accidentally spoil anything for ourselves or for me as I dig through any of that kind of stuff.
I've got to plug my ears for the next while until we get through this AP, because there are obviously some really intense things happening with these two archmages that have been warring for a long time and have kind of gone into hiding.
Yep.
And I think part of what this AP starts to bring out is these celebrants are saying he's returning, he's coming back.
Yeah.
We're going to see him back, and I don't want to know what that looks like or what the result is of that until we get through it. That's a tough thing to do because, Paizo's always putting out new stuff, always putting out new APs, and they definitely build off each other and give nods to other APs as they go. So I, you know,
Yeah.
Can you do a critical knowledge episode on this bank and if there's more traps?
I'm just, at this rate, by the time we get produced down and filmed up, I think poor Mert's gonna be a puddle.
yeah. Can we get like a Mert counter? I should like
Dude.
I should start one that says like this is how many
Yes.
times I've gone to dying in this campaign, and it's gonna be, it might reach triple digits. We'll
So,
see.
hey,
Gotta be just how
Laura.
many episodes we've had, right?
Yes, Laura. Can we get a command for the number of times that Mert goes to dying and track that?
That would be amazing.
She says she can do that.
Okay.
Is that a Mert owned counter?
I mean, yeah, it's a Mert official
Yeah.
counter.
Yeah, Laura, don't feel like you need to do the heavy lifting. I can certainly go back and figure it out through the old many episodes yet. So it's only like 40, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's only you've only gone to like dying 700.
Yeah.
Also, Jacob, you should get like one of those jars of slime to just every time you get turned into a Mert.
Oh, like throw a gob of slime in it and
Yeah,
it just like
yeah,
fills
yeah.
up. Nice. Oh,
This is just my residual Mert.
Just for the,
yes.
until we get
Just a
the
big jar.
I'm gonna
until
have
we
to go
get the
home to my
soundboard.
sign collection. I'll pick some out.
Yes.
maybe when I reach 100 dyings with Mert, then you guys can like slime me and like pour it all. You know, we'll do this.
Or you could like raffle away the jar of Mert.
Yeah.
I got a jar of Mert. I got a jar of Mert.
Nice.
This is
You picked the perfect name.
Mert?
Mert, yeah.
Yeah. It felt like a very halfling name. Like his name is Mert Nellis. I feel like
Yeah.
that's like pretty solid.
Mert.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much it rhymes with until after I picked it, and I'm like I half enjoy it and half like regret it. You know?
Then you're doing it right.
Yeah, I think so.
That's why you're a halfling.
Yeah. That's right.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Well, I was about to say I'm glad to be back.
Damage on
But
that.
yeah, so to answer a few questions, so Laura, pretty easy formula. So for the Mert counter is if episode equals X, Mert counter equals X times 2.
Oh man,
yes.
it's not that bad.
I
no.
would say as it
Right, guys?
averages out, it's probably going to maybe be that, but you never know. And then as far as the critical knowledge, yeah, be sure to check that out on Friday when those start dropping.
Yeah.
Those are some really great bits of information and lore, and also tidbits on converting from other games to Pathfinder 2e, our preferred system.
Yep.
And to answer your question, Joseph, no, he cannot do that. It's worth a shot.
I'm done.
Oh no! Look what you've done.
I'm just saying, like, okay. So we'll kind of regroup here and we're back in the bank. And I'm saying, like, no one's puddled out here in this chamber. You're standing, well, Mert is kind of floating atop of this iron slab set in the stonework floor. He's just floating maybe an inch or so off the ground, observing it. And we have Ophelia has come up to kind of check it for any kind of traps or other hazards and hasn't seen anything. Zareth has suggested maybe just push it. What do you guys do?
In the time that we've been, taking a break, what if I want to just like take the hilt of my machete and just like bang on it to see if it sounds hollow, like there's something like open space beneath it, or if it sounds like it's solid.
It sounds very solid. In fact, when you hit it, it just sounds like the hilt of your sword just banging into a slab of iron. There's no echo or anything. Like you would think if there is space underneath there, this iron slab covering it is very thick.
Interesting. Well, if there is a door kind of matching the other side of the teller's desk, can I take a moment to firstly be like, Laura, be careful, and look for traps in that specific square to see if there is another
You want to
dealer?
come stand in the square?
I want to stand. Yeah, sure, man. It's your game.
We'll be, it's our game, and we want to be careful.
I would
right?
like to be 5 foot back.
5 foot back from the door. You want to kind of give it a once over. You already know that runes in the floor could be a thing.
Yeah, the ceiling, looking for some kind of opening mechanism.
So yeah, you're not noticing anything off the bat here.
Cool. Okay.
And this just looks like a one of those iron doors that again, you'd have to kind of grab a hold of it and slide it in those tracks.
Sure.
And because it does require athletics, unfortunately, you won't be able to open
I'm
it.
not able to do that. Yep.
I'll send Remy to go open the door.
Expendable.
It's not expendable. He has athletics.
All right. Poor guy.
Fine. So he'll go over there and is Remy trained in athletics?
He is.
Okay. Then yeah, he just with a grunt just slides that door open into the teller's area.
Great.
Anybody want to go in there?
I'll move up.
I'll definitely step into the room and start checking the desks and underneath the desks for any kind of, I don't know, papers, documents, control switches, I don't know, anything, like a lever.
I have my shield raised as we walk in.
Okay. So I hear Mertz going in and
Remy's
Sareth.
Remy is going to follow the two in, and I'm going to stay about 20 feet behind.
Okay, so we'll just kind of move you in, and we'll just kind of. I'm not going to move the minis around to show you looking at every square.
The room fills with noxious gas, and you all die.
That's right. The iron's door is closed.
Yeah.
And mushroom spores descend upon you.
So when you go into this chamber, you can obviously see there's kind of two workstations for tellers to kind of work at or stand at.
Yeah.
If there was a stool here for them to sit on, it's been taken. There are some scraps of paper on the floor to indicate that there was some, paper transactions happening here, but there's nothing really left except some empty shelves. There's some cabinets. Everything in here is either gone or just completely destroyed, just scraps of paper.
Sure.
However, there is a lever underneath one of the teller's desks, the farthest one from the door you came in, and it's currently like pushed up into the desk.
Huh. I think some of my time.
Ophelia, you want to see if that lever over there mechanically leads to anything, or check it out, or?
Yeah, I think I would point out that, for whatever reason, I knew there would be this lever here. Not sure why. I just feel like tellers have some way to sound an alarm or alert others if something goes bad.
So Ophelia will go over there and kind of check that for any kind of hazard. Doesn't see anything. I don't know. Let's see what it does. And she'll pull it out of the desk. Mm-hmm. And when it does, you can hear the ratcheting sound kind of on the door leading out of the tellers, the opposite door you came in.
Yeah.
Which you think is probably the opposite side of where you got
right
splurted.
So do we feel like that shut that trap off or rearmed that trap? Does she feel...
I'm not very interested in
I'm not either.
finding out.
I'm not very interested in opening that door, but...
I'll walk out of this room into the... I'll walk into the lobby and then take a peek into that room to see if that... it was a scythe, right?
Yes.
I'll take a peek into that room, just
so
look
you
down.
go around this way. Still got that shield
not
up.
that far.
Right here?
No, just in the door.
Just peeking in.
Yeah.
And you just kind of lean in and you see that skeletal hand that's holding the scythe is no longer anywhere to be seen.
Okay. And it, just to confirm, it wasn't there when we left the room either, so it's still not there, right?
Right.
It hasn't triggered anything with that. Okay.
Yeah, it's no longer hanging out of the ceiling.
Okay, well, I'll go back in and kind of report that to Mert that, that at least didn't trigger that trap.
I think this is actually... a way to reset it. And she shunks the lever back into the closed position, into the teller's desk. And you hear a couple clicks, gears turning. I think that ought to keep the trap from springing again over there.
I'm not sure I believe you, but...
Says the DM playing the character.
Yeah, for sure. Are there any other doors out of this teller room?
Really, no, just the two here on either side, and then this frosted glass.
Great. I'm not going through the death
Yeah,
door.
I'm gonna come back around
out.
as well.
Yeah.
I just don't trust it.
Okay, so everyone comes back around to this.
And it has
to this
nothing to
side
do
here.
with
Yeah.
you playing Ophelia.
Yeah,
That's
love you, Ophelia, but
I don't. What was it? 60 damage.
Yeah.
That's gonna be in my head for a while.
It was a critical, to be fair, but yeah, it was pretty bad.
I think I would like to check out these rooms that are here that
Sure,
we just keep
me too.
walking by.
Okay, yeah, great. We have a kind of a northern door and a southern door in this hallway,
Good point.
and we have the slab.
Just the first room we come to, I think I'm gonna have probably just like nudge Ophelia to check the door, and then if it's okay, I'll have Remy open the door.
Okay. I won't move minis around for
Yeah,
all
for
this
sure.
back and forth. I don't see anything.
Okay, great. Remy, open the door.
Okay. So he opens this door. Who's standing in the doorway? I guess he'll be standing in the doorway when
Yeah.
he opens it, right? And
Yeah.
who's standing on the other side of him?
I'm fine there. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And Lysander, you're good right next to your guy? there?
I'll be behind him.
Yeah, you are.
Yep.
Okay. So this opens up on a small 15-foot chamber here. And I'll read you a description.
Of the fireball that comes out and kills us all.
That would be a little early for that sort of a thing to happen, right? Wouldn't it?
Lightning bolt.
You would think.
Lightning bolt.
You would think. So a large stone oven takes up the west wall of the simple kitchen. There are storage cabinets and racks for cookware that occupy the rest of the room. So what do you see? A kitchen
Oh, Rick.
That's strange in a bank, I
in
think.
a bank. That is a little strange, right? What do you make of that?
I suppose the workers would
I don't make
meals in
anything.
here or something. I don't know.
The break room?
Right?
Or a new way to cook the books? I don't know.
But Tess.
She'll be here all week.
Right. Tip
Lore
your
accounting.
Tip your
I
waitress.
don't believe that's how that works. No.
You do, in fact, find a ledger in a frying pan on the stove.
That book has been cooked.
They discovered it the new way.
No wonder why that shit went to Mekatar.
Curses. Yeah, they weren't really running this bank very well, were they?
So you said this is like a large oven too, right?
Yeah, it takes up most of that back
so
wall.
not like
that 15 foot.
not like an employee break room.
It is not like an employee break room. It's got several burners and yeah, it's like what you would see in a larger eating establishment.
But an eating establishment, not like a morgue.
Let's say, is an employee-sized burner oven.
Oh, I see. No, it is not a crematorium.
Okay. Just this thought I'd
Yeah.
run through
Yeah,
some
yeah.
You
possibilities.
never know in Geb, right?
That's
It's
true.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah. But why would they need to feed so many people at this bank? It just seems odd. I mean, from what we've seen so far, there's just 2 tellers booths and a small dining hall or a small room next door.
Like an executive room.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not like there's a conference hall or
don't
event
know.
center or
Well, and this building is kind of sandwiched between 2 other newer builds. Like, it's not an expansive complex by any stretch.
Not that you've seen.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk in there and search the room.
Okay, so we'll
For
spend
traps?
some 10 minutes, and so we've got someone that's doing a search for traps, and we've got someone that's just doing a generalized search. Okay, so yeah, Alara, you're not seeing anything that would indicate like
yeah.
someone trapped the stove. That would be rude. Sure. Lysander, perception around to kind of check things out here.
I'll take one too to kind of peek in between the grates of the oven to see.
Oh, what they've been cooking?
How about Zareth? What would Zareth like to do?
I'm just waiting. I think I'll maybe take a peek in the next room.
Oh,
The next room over. Just kind of.
Classic split the party move. All right. So you come over here and open this door during that 10 minutes that they're.
He's getting impatient. He's like, what's this door?
Yeah. It's my bravery.
Yeah.
that's that bravery kicking in, he said.
I raise my shield, going into the room, just taking a peek.
Okay, so you
plus
take a
one to his
peek in here,
bravery.
and Zareth, what you see is empty armor and weapon racks lining the wall of this room. There's a heavy oaken cabinet occupying the southwest corner. There are fine carvings of cavorting imps adorning the cabinet doors.
Cavorting imps.
That's what you see in there.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're kind of perusing the weapon racks. You know the function of these things, but the racks themselves are empty. Okay? Back to the kitchen, looking around some stuff. Most of the cookware in here is fairly simple, but if you sift through this, you'll notice that there is another exquisite wooden box made of dense, dark, aromatic wood. Ophelia will kind of give a quick crafting check. I think that box is worth just as much money as that spice box we found. Do you open the box?
Ophelia, do you open the box?
Well, let me just be careful
That's
about it,
right.
okay?
That's right.
I don't want to get anybody hurt.
That's right. That's what I did. I took it out and put
It seems fine.
Sure.
You want me to open it, or
I'll
you
open
want to open it? Okay, so you open the box,
Yeah.
and inside, the box itself contains a hand-carved bone soup ladle. So the bowl of this ladle is carved out of bone. It looks like it could have been like a skull cap, but the handle of the ladle is made of pure silver. Oh, that looks very nice. Yeah, I think somebody would buy that for quite a bit of money. It seems like there's a lot of people who collect like culinary treasures in Geb. It's very strange. Why would they do that?
I have no idea. I like food, but
I think the economy runs on the export of food, so I suppose there's kind of a strange interest in it.
Okay, back to the weapon rack room.
Check for traps.
Okay.
Good answer.
You're not noticing anything that appears to be like any kind of hazard
Okay.
jumping out at you.
There's a cabinet.
Yes, back here on the southern wall, right over here.
Did my trap check include that cabinet?
Sure.
Okay. I'll try to open it.
I shouldn't have done actually so detailed because now you guys are too careful. But okay. You try to open it, it is locked.
Okay.
And you notice that there is this locking mechanism across the doors of the cabinet that, it looks very complicated.
Okay.
Well, it looks like a pretty well-made lock, I should say.
Is there anything else of note in the room?
Not that you can see right off the bat.
Okay, then I'll, leave and mention to Persephone that
Ophelia.
There's Ophelia, sorry,
No, you're
that
good.
there's a lock to pick if she's interested.
Oh. Well, show me.
Show me more. Show me more.
So she'll come in here and we'll cut back to.
But she crushed it on picking that acid
Right.
burned lock earlier, so
Yeah. Okay. She'll get her tools out and kind of, okay, no. Don't watch me. Okay, I'm still new. Turn around.
Okay.
Turn around.
that's how Mert feels when he botches his medicine checks on himself.
So she puts a lockpick in and starts to turn it. And then she's like, oh, shit. And the pick snaps off. And she now has to extricate her picks. She has now broken her tools.
Ooh, that's no good.
No, it's not. Mechanically, she critically failed her check to open this lock. I didn't even think that was possible. Let me see if I have some backup picks.
Love that.
Thank you, Laura.
That's not real, is it? 16 times?
Yes.
I do have some. What's happening 16 times?
I guess
critically
the
failed
Mert
16
counter.
times?
No, the Mert counter is 16.
Wow.
We went with 2 per episode.
I told you, yeah. Episode equals 8. Mert equals 8 times 2, 16.
Awesome. Good.
Hey,
I buy it.
So,
For $1.
He'll be less flimsy eventually.
Yeah.
At like level 18, he'll be fine.
He may last
He won't.
the episode
What's
without
the
that.
over-under on him making it to 18?
Yeah.
Okay. Back to the cabinet.
He's not
Yeah.
favored, I'll tell you that much.
I can try again, but this looks really hard. Maybe, can you go ask Alara to come here and maybe help me with this?
Sure. I'll step out and call for Alora.
Okay.
So anyway, I think Zareth is bad luck because he was watching me pick this lock and I broke my pick. And can you keep him out of here and help me out with your magic?
Yeah. Hey, Zareth, they were asking for you in the other room.
Okay. So I'll step into the other room. What's going on, guys?
Have you seen a ladle so exquisite?
A ladle what?
And then,
I'm inspecting the ladle as you're, picking the lock.
and I guess.
Guidance.
Well, I did guidance.
Oh, you did it on her again.
Yeah,
didn't you?
but I can do Courageous Anthem.
There you go.
I did refocus, thankfully.
There you go.
So Zareth, as you inspect this ladle, you think that someone who is into the culinary arts, like Berlin, would give 10 gold for this ladle. It's
Sure.
exquisitely crafted.
Okay.
And the skull adds that extra kind of flair to it.
Oh, because she could give it as a gift to what's his name.
Yeah,
I bet the Stitch Skull would love that thing.
you're probably 100% true.
Back to Alara comes down
Yeah.
and casts guidance.
Inspire courage.
That gives me +1 to this check.
It's Courageous Anthem since I refocused, and yeah, +1. Tackle damage rolls, saves against. Yes, +1.
Okay. Is guidance a different type of bonus from Courageous Anthem?
No.
Or they're the same
I
type?
think they're both status.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense because there's really only 3 bonus types, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to get +1 to this roll. Here we go. Shit. And she snaps another one of her lockpicks. As she, were you watching me when I did that?
No, I wasn't. I was looking at this armor rack.
I only have one more set of picks, and then I'm out. I'll have to go buy more or try to repair
Do we
this
just
kit.
need to brute force this thing?
That or find a key. This is a really good lock.
I don't think we've seen. I mean, I guess we could keep looking to see if there is a key, but if it's a really good lock, then there's something really good in there.
Yeah, there's lots of the bank we haven't seen yet. So maybe there's a key somewhere.
I want to kind of ask Zareth too, like, how heavy, like, what's taking them so long in there, and how heavy is this cabinet they're trying to bust into?
It's a very nice lock.
But is it the whole thing's made of steel, or is it just wood with some steel bars?
It was a wooden cabinet.
It was a wooden cabinet.
Okay. Well, I could certainly bust open a side if we need to, but I think you're right. We have plenty other places to look. Maybe we'll find a key before we decide to destroy it and potentially the things inside of it.
So we're coming back to the cabinet, maybe?
Maybe.
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
So yeah, per the description, it is a heavy oaken cabinet. So it will take some bashing. But
Yeah.
it is bashable.
Bashable.
Sure.
But yeah, as you said, you don't want to run the risk of maybe.
Yeah, considering we found a very nice, fancy bone ladle, it could be like some kind of crockery or china in here for all I know. Even though there's armor and weapons, you just don't know what could be in here that could be fragile.
That's a very good point. So where would you like to go?
Not through the door with the scythe hand. Again,
Through
even though it may be disabled per Ophelia.
I think the only doors left are the back through that original room, correct?
So you would go back through that conference room with the 5 kind of candlelit skulls on the table. There was the door. So in the northern section of that, there were two restricted doors. The one that faced west back into the teller's area was where you got scythed nearly to your death. And then there was the other door that says restricted there. So everyone's going to kind of make their way back to this kind of conference room. Okay. Well, we'll have Ophelia kind of come up front for now, unless Zareth has another bout of bravery.
In the
Because she's going to want to check it out for
in
sure.
the exchange down there with the very good lock or the very fine lock, would you say it would have enough time to refocus while she is picking the lock?
Sure, yeah, because she was kind of debating whether or not to try again. She asked for guidance and back and forth. We'll give you the 10 minutes.
Sure.
I spent a long time looking at that ladle.
Okay, fine.
Too long?
Long enough.
Long enough to, yeah, everything is in nice kind of 10-minute chunks. It
Sure.
makes things easier narratively. So we're back to this conference room with the two doors that say restricted. Okay.
I think we're running into a lot of dead ends here. This strange metal area in the back room, a locked chest, like there's more to this bank.
Hey, Ophelia, does it look like there's is this door trapped? Is there anything crazy about this thing? I mean, I know this is where Mert had his unfortunate accident.
Yeah, I don't see anything here that would indicate this is trapped.
Okay.
I'm assuming we could see some sort of slot where that came down or something, right?
The original one, yeah.
And we don't see that above the other door.
No, so you don't see that above either doors.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think from what I was observing when I was bandaging myself, it's almost like when that comes down, like a panel opens up, and then this
okay.
panel like closes back up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Not
So
an obvious
Ophelia's
little
not seeing
slit.
anything.
Okay.
I'll have Remy go up and pull that door open.
Okay.
I appreciate that Remy is our
We love Remy.
Okay.
guinea pig.
So you say relove Remy, and as soon as he hits that handle, the restricted door, that panel opens, and another skeletal hand with a side.
Sure.
I didn't see it. Okay.
It's fine.
Shit.
Oy, oy, oy.
Say it loud, Remy.
Oh my.
All right. This is a 30 to hit Remy.
That's a crit.
Oh boy. Okay, so I'm gonna get 2 of these die. And a couple of these die. This. Okay. 15. That's 52 points of damage
Oh my gosh.
to Remy.
He is dying too.
Dying 2. So Remy is kind of like almost gets lopped in half and thuds to the floor in front of you.
But luckily not massive. Again, like not massive damage, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's
I narrowly avoided that.
52 is not double his total hit points. Okay, good deal.
I'm impressed that we didn't learn our lesson the first time.
I could have. I looked.
We've all been trying to figure out how these panels work and where they're armed and disarmed, and it's beyond our skill for the moment.
And now that arm is just kind of dangling there with the side or the sickle.
I'm gonna jump up and just try to like lop that off, like start hacking away at the skeletal arm to
Okay.
break free the side.
so can't.
Go ahead and give me an attack roll to hit it.
Sure.
Good idea.
That's gonna be a 26.
Okay, that does connect with the skeletal arm.
It's gonna be 15 points of damage.
Okay, so your blade bashes into it, and it just kind of nicks, just barely nicks it.
I suppose I could take a moment to enter rage and try to really lay into this thing.
If that's what you'd like to do, it is your.
I'll just look at the party and be like,
starting to like.
yeah. Should I break it down before it goes back into the ceiling?
Is the
can.
door locked? Like when Remy turned the handle, did the handle turn or did it?
Turned.
Okay, I'm just like what the fuck ever. I just reach over and grab the handle and open the door
True.
Okay.
with the axe already out.
Yeah. Are you trained in athletics?
No.
All right, so it takes you some time to kind of push this door open. In the meantime, since it's taking 3 actions, do you want to take 3 swings?
Sure. Yeah, I can certainly try.
Yeah.
I will enter rage though to try to bump my damage a little.
All right.
So we'll see how that goes. But knowing this is just like an object, I'm not gonna do like imbue my weapon with, you know, kind of that spiritual energy that I usually do.
Yeah, you would know that wouldn't do anything for this.
Yep. 14.
That bounces right off of it.
Miss again.
Okay, the door is open, and this wildly swinging blade is coming dangerously close to your own face as you swing this door open, and I'm going to remove the fog of war. Copyright 3M.
Are those post-it notes?
Shh, you're going to give away all my technical secrets. But yes,
That's the fog of war. So.
Oh.
yeah,
Fog of war.
3M fog of war. Okay.
My bad.
I'm going to give you a description of this room now that you're peering into this chamber. Crowded bookshelves stand along the west, north, and east wall of this room. 2 cushioned chairs sit between them. The south wall contains a single iron door, which you just opened. Next to the door is a lever, topped with a tiny little skull.
I'm going to. So I'm guessing Remy's on the floor.
He is on the floor.
I'm gonna kind of like pull him back.
Okay, which half?
Oh no.
Okay, you pull him back. I'm just kind of being facetious.
I'm gonna pull out, reach into my bag and pull out a healer's toolkit
Okay.
and explain. You know, in my travels I picked up some tricks. You know, it's come in handy to heal undead. So I'm gonna, you know, use my healer's toolkit to kind of try to help Remy.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. You can give me a medicine check then.
Okay. Does the healer's toolkit give me any kind of bonus to that, or is it just a?
It does not unless you have a very fancy one.
Okay. That is 18.
Got it.
Okay, so with that, with the DC 15, you do, I think it's, what is it, 2d8?
2d8.
2d8 healing to Remy, who is negative 60 something.
Negative a lot.
There's no
points.
negative.
Yeah.
You take 9 points.
9. Love it.
So you kind of stitch that gaping wound in Remy back, and his eyes open, and you can RP what Remy says or does at that.
He just so you're kind of stitching them together, and this eerie green flame kind of reappears in his eyes, and he opens his eyes, and he kind of fakes that kind of like breath. And that frustrated, like, this isn't probably the first time he's gone down, and it's probably not going to be the last time he's
Sure.
going to go down.
Sure.
As I fall out of rage too, I kind of turn and notice that like it takes some skill to stitch up, you know, rotting zombie flesh. So you certainly seem to know what you're doing.
Well,
Maybe I'll kind of take some notes for myself because I'm still figuring this out, how to stitch myself up.
Well, I'm well traveled, and I've picked up a few things. So the healer's toolkit, is that something that I can use multiple times, or okay?
Yeah, as long as you have it on your person, like not stowed in a backpack, as long as you are wearing it or holding it, you can just do medicine out of it, and it doesn't like deplete.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can, like, during downtime for coppers, replace your linen bandages and salves and whatever in there, so it's not really tracked like a 1E healer kit.
Sure.
Great question, though. Okay, so yeah, while he's doing this, you do have this kind of 15 by 20 chamber with these 2 very plush chairs and these shelves full of books in here.
I'm going to start searching this room.
Okay. How about Alara? What's Alara doing during this time?
Ooh, I mean, I'm not gonna make it through the door. I'm really not. Maybe she'll just refocus again.
Okay. Yeah, because it will take about that amount of time for him to perform this kind of first aid task on Remy.
If I need
I do want to slip into the door with Lysander while that's going on before the the hand gets fully locked back up into the ceiling.
Okay. And as you pass through the door jamb, you do see that lever right near the door with a tiny skull on the top of the lever.
Interesting. On the inside of the...
On the inside surface of this room. As you walked in, it's on the inside of the door, just kind of next to the door. This lever is in the down position.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely point that out to Lysander once I get in there and go, this lever looks similar to the one in the teller's booth. Perhaps this will disable it.
I feel like that's not the first time we've heard that today.
Well, no guarantees, but
No, for sure.
It's certainly worth trying.
Yeah, I'll. Do you want me to grab it and try it?
I'll just kind of like reach over to do it myself. My hand goes right through it.
Yeah,
like
I'll just grab it.
Yeah.
And
Okay, so when you reset that lever, that arm with a sickle right up into the panel, and the panel closes.
Great. So either we've reset the trap to kill somebody else,
or turned it off.
or
Who
we've
knows?
turned it off. We'll find out when the next person decides to come
Well,
through here.
if it reassures you, when the two of us have to leave this room, I'll go first.
All right, so while he's stitching up Remy, Alara's refocusing. You guys are in this room with these books. You start examining the books. The books here all have titles suggesting grim and esoteric subject matter. There's books with titles things like Delusions of the Boiled Rat, In Service to the Flagellating Fang,
Excuse me,
etc.,
what?
etc.
Okay.
What do you do with these books? Anything? Or do you just go, well, these are stupid titles?
I mean, I can't do anything other than read the titles on the, maybe on the
That's true.
spine of them.
With my knowledge of the occult, do any of these stand out as being maybe more important than any of the other, or?
That's a good question.
There are a few titles that kind of draw your interest. Maybe something along the lines of like the Pallid Princess is maybe in the title of a couple of the books.
Okay. I'm not curious enough to pull them off the shelf, I don't think. But I will make note and then just kind of move on away from the bookshelf.
Okay.
I'm going to spend some time to search the chairs to see if there's any mechanisms or like one chair was always sat in versus the other, if they seem to have been moved from where they originally were.
So you're not seeing anything with the chairs themselves, but as you're kind of like eyeballing them and looking for changes in like the positions of the chairs, or maybe there is some dust in this room.
Yeah.
Especially near the western wall. And what you do notice is that there's a pattern of dust near the shelves in the northwest corner that seems to indicate like some wearing in the dust.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I'll point that out to Lysander right away. There must be some kind of secret door behind this bookcase. I wouldn't know how to activate it, but...
Do you go take a closer look at the bookcase?
Yeah, I can go look at it, yeah.
Okay. So you spend some time looking at, again, these very strange, bizarre titles that are almost nonsensical. But you do notice one that kind of stands out, and it appears that this book is more than likely the switch to this hidden bookcase.
Yeah, I'll point that out to Lysander. Hey, I think this is the book that triggers this door to open. I don't know why. It seems like kind of the fringe of the spine is a little worn, and
You do see a fly symbol on the bridge of this book.
yeah, I'll point that out as well. It seems to be an Ergothoan
Okay.
symbology.
I will kind of yell back out to everybody else that we're standing in front of this bookshelf. It looks like it has some kind of trap door or false panel or door that opens up when you pull a book kind of thing. I think we've located the book. Do we all want to come in here, or do we all not want to come in here? I mean, I don't know at this point.
I think I disabled the scythe trap. Maybe.
Well, and
With your face?
was
No,
well, and,
Oh,
Lysander's the
lever.
one that did it, but
Gotcha.
and was the trap going
Whatever,
off
man.
when you opened the door, or when there was a body there?
I think
Or
it just detected somebody being underneath it.
Okay, so not because of the handle being touched. Oh,
Maybe it was, the door handle being touched. That's a good point. I don't think I really noticed.
I think like it's up in the ceiling now.
Right.
And you tried to hurt it and it didn't hurt, so I think you reset it. Give me a second. Yeah, everybody get out of the doorway, and she'll kind of like dash in and put the lever back down, and you hear a couple gears click, click, and nothing happens. Now I think it's disabled.
See, like I said,
As she's doing that, you notice some of the other the other books surrounding this Ergothoan spine, they're all cookbooks.
interesting.
And a lot of the titles seem to indicate that they're from regions like Osirion, Katapesh, etc.
Fascinating.
There's one that's Delectables from Galt.
Wow. I don't even know if I've ever heard of Galt or where that is. It sounds very distant from where we are.
Ustalavic Delicacies.
Yeah.
Yeah, etc., etc.
Huh.
Quite a few books that...
Yeah. Certainly maybe of interest to Mr. Saldoli or Stitch Skull. They may want to add these to their collection. Also, before I get too sidetracked staring at the cookbooks, I think I definitely would point out to Ophelia, just like, thanks. Like, thank you for covering me when I almost killed my party by telling them to come in through the door.
You're going to have to be more careful, Mert. It's a good thing I'm around.
Well, I'm
very good at that so far.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk in. I'm down to see what's up with this bookshelf.
Do you pull that book with the fly on the spine?
Sure. Yeah, I'll pull it.
Okay, so it doesn't actually come out of the shelf. When you pull it, it just kind of slips out a little bit, and you hear this audible click, and a door swings open. A large desk takes up the southern portion of this room. A gray-robed corpse with an elaborate headdress sits in an ornate chair, hunched over plates and bowls filled with chips of bone and insect husks. A pair of folded notes are stabbed into the table with a star knife. And we'll see what you guys do with that next time.
No.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, leave us on a cliffy like that? Oh, man.
Gonna have
the
to.
notes.
Whew.
This is bullshit.
I know. I want to at least read them.
Dang.
Yeah. But we'll have to. This is a
And a star knife. That's very interesting.
very strange. So just real quick before we fade out, tell us real quick what you know about the lore of a star knife.
I
Jacob
know that.
knows.
Yeah. So Jacob knows that a star knife is traditionally like like some kind of throwing knife, usually, and specifically, it's the favored weapon of Desna, which is not the type of god that is commonly worshipped in Geb at all.
She's
Maybe Varizia way up to the
And
northwest.
she's got like travelers and like the Fae or some type, or what? Some kind
She's basically like the god of adventure, commonly worshipped by halflings of dreams, right? If I remember
Dreams,
correctly.
luck,
Yep.
travel. It's like a Verizian kind of deity.
Yeah, the Verizians are like the Roma people of Galarian, right? So very much that when they travel and sell their wares all over Avestan, basically that's
Yeah, not
who
so
they
much
pray
down
to
here.
guide the way, including Harrow. They're big into Harrow as well.
Right. So that's a cool piece of lore. But for you're trained in religion, you recognize that right off the bat. Anybody trained in religion would recognize this knife is not normal to see here, and this is something normally associated with Desnans, and Desnans are not normal and maybe even not legal
Right.
in Gab. So with that, we'll kind of close out this episode, sadly. So thanks, Joseph, for joining us for your
Absolutely.
first episode.
Excellent.
We're on episode 8. Be sure, if you're out there watching on YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're on Twitch right now, be sure to hit that follow button. None of those cost you anything, but certainly helps us out quite a bit, so we really appreciate that.
Sure.
Tune in tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Eastern on this very same channel for our Soul Severed campaign. That's going to be in a homebrew setting called Iota Dree. A lot of cool stuff going on there. There was some very emotional character development a couple episodes ago, and then a very near-death experience for
Oh,
one
shoot.
of a couple of our players.
Yep.
No kidding.
In that last episode, but I'm curious to see what happens next with that band of ne'er-do-wells. And then don't forget to tune in Friday as our critical knowledge will drop
Yep.
Friday, as we explained at the break. Those will be back on schedule. And in the meantime, check out the Patreon, et cetera, et cetera. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I look forward to
Absolutely,
coming
guys.
back Monday. I'll be on Barnabas Brushes Wednesday
There
at
you go.
5.
All right.
I think don't we have the baseball game for
We
work?
do, but yeah.
I may or may not be on because we do have a baseball game to attend to potentially.
Hard work.
Yeah, we're going to be hard at work at a team builder at our local.
The only team builder
minor
allowed at
league,
work is Pathfinder.
which we do.
We have done, yeah.
We
Yep.
do as well. So thanks again, Joseph, for joining us. We're all happy to have you here.
Yep.
I'm
sure.
very curious to see how Zareth blends into this party, and he's starting to build a little trust, I think, with healing his friend's
Yep.
undead companion, and he's charged to the forefront with his shield
His
to keep
bravery
everyone
plus
safe.
one.
Bravery. Yeah.
So it's I'm very excited to see what happens next. So we'll see you Monday, 6:30 Eastern, right here. Good night, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Good evening.
I gotta say, Patrick, there's too many words like flagellating in this campaign.
Right. Ablution, flagellation. Yeah, it's. I did mention in episode 1 that there was going to be some moments where it got a little.
Yeah, the scrying pool was just like right off the bat, like, ooh.
Right.
Yeah. It's it definitely gets dark in places, but we have fun still. Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's still Pathfinder, and it's still a great time.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.